Some of the content of Patriots Unfiltered may not be suitable for all audiences. Listener discretion is advised.
The world's original podcast.
Welcome to Patriots Unfiltered.
Schedule release has become a pretty big thing in the NFL.
Sure has.
A lot of announcements.
A lot of announcements.
For the announcements.
Yeah.
We're announcing announcements.
Yeah, we're going to announce it. We're going to make an announcement. And not the scheduled midseason start being talked about by some media, bartender in particular.
Oh.
I mean, I don't think anybody. I don't know what Alex is saying, but same with Curran.
I bet you don't.
I don't. I have
you
no
do
idea
nothing
what
but
that
listen
is.
to him talk all the time.
Yeah,
Last
right.
thing you heard last night before you went to
I
love you too.
That's not a pillow.
When will somebody on the Patriots team though date a cool celebrity?
Chanel, girl, come on.
Okay.
I don't know how to add stuff to my dictionary.
That's such a lie.
There's nobody at this table that knows less
You have
about
your own
this
dictionary?
stuff than me.
What are you talking?
I don't know, Fred. You can vouch for me. There's no one at this table that knows less about computers than
No,
me.
true.
I might.
This is why you get complimentary wrong. This isn't
You
like
guys with your big J's hanging out right now, swinging your big J's all over the place.
Don't worry about my swinging big J.
Wow. I have an
Not like Deuce.
I have an enlarged prostate, so mine's more like a Q.
Wow.
This is Patriots Unfiltered.
Presented by Toyota's official website for deals, buyatoyota.com.
All right, welcome to Patriots Unfiltered. It is Thursday here at Gillette Stadium, and it's the day after the schedule release. So Patriots had a lot of fun last night.
With with their schedule that they got?
Yeah, a lot of fun with this. Well, the schedule's going to be tough, but the release video
Yeah.
was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
According to everyone who watched it, and I mean everyone.
It's really, really well. I mean,
We have one of the creators here.
yeah,
Alex.
driving force of
Yeah.
it for
Yeah.
sure. Evan, star.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the reactions to Evan's little appearance was everything I think we hoped it would be and more.
I think half the engagement was like Evan's fan club.
Oh, yeah.
And then me watching it
Yeah.
over and
I mean,
over.
I didn't see a single bad thing about that. You know, like nobody really everybody who knows you enjoyed it thoroughly. I think.
Oh, well,
And
I
credit to you
appreciate
for
that.
being, for willing to be
Being a good sport.
made fun of. Made
Yeah.
fun of.
Honestly, it's funny because like some people said to me like, "Oh, well, you were the butt of the joke," and it didn't like feel that way. Like I was just happy to be involved in it. Like I didn't necessarily look at it as like, "Oh, they're like making fun of you."
You were playing a character from a movie.
Yeah, yeah.
Do they understand that?
No, they think
Yeah.
I was playing myself.
Right.
They said I was perfectly casted for
Well,
the
that
role.
could
yeah,
be
someone
true.
was like, this is typecasting.
Yeah.
That could be true.
No, that is definitely true.
Yeah.
But we did everything in mind with exactly who played that character. Like it was perfect for Evan.
just didn't have a ponytail.
It was perfect for Ernie. It was perfect for Gronk and Jules.
Maybe we
Yeah.
should have put a ponytail on him. That might have.
I tried. I did pitch that in the wardrobe scene or the wardrobe meeting.
Oh,
but-
yeah? And it got turned down?
Yeah, but
Oh,
I
should've-
can't have all the
You
ideas.
should have
so
told me. I would have
No
insisted.
wigs. No wigs.
next time.
Yeah.
Next time.
Give him an Irish sweater.
The only other thing I wish that worked its way in there somewhere was Chuck, I had a double burger.
Yeah.
Or keep antagonizing me and see what happens. Two of my Casey Affleck lines
Well,
that are just my favorite.
Gronk
ones.
actually tweeted that out.
Oh, yeah.
When he reposted the video, he said, "Wish I had a double burger."
Chuck, I had a double
So that was last night. That was a lot of fun.
Did you watch any of the other ones?
I did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can
There
I?
was some good ones, some not so good ones.
I just I get that everybody has to praise the Chargers, but I watched it with my wife, who's not a football fan, and she's like, I didn't understand a single moment of that. And honestly, to be honest, I watched it and I'm like, what the hell did I just watch? And so they have a lot of views because you can't tell what the hell's going on with one view.
No,
you got to go
have
back
to
and watch
watch
it a
it
few
like
times.
10 times.
And
Yeah.
it reminds me a little bit,
Especially if you're on a phone.
yeah, it reminded me, and there were some great jokes in there. Credit to them, but it reminded me a little bit of when I was in LA working with Mitch Hurwitz, who did Arrested Development, and Arrested Development
Sweet
is
flex,
praised
bro.
at this just such a smart show, right? But it never did big numbers. Now that's where the comparison probably parts ways. But it's so specific, and so I get why the NFL people love that. But I think what I liked about ours was that it's just anyone could watch it and appreciate it if you're aware of Good Will Hunting. And you know, the Chiefs, the Chargers one, it's like good luck deciphering all that unless you know exactly what's going on in the NFL.
I give the Chargers credit for owning the brand that they've created, which is the Burn Book.
Yep.
They've come out and said they keep this Burn Book updated throughout the season, and then they put it to life, whether it's anime or in this case Sims. That's what they do.
Yeah, I tip my cap. I kind of appreciated how they paid homage to our schedule release last year with like the
Did they?
retirement.
I didn't even catch it.
Well, it was a retirement house, all the Patriots scenes.
all right.
And then I was like, did someone tell them our idea? Because they had a Goodwill Hunting poster inside the Sims
really?
house.
Yeah.
I
went over my head.
was like, no way. Like,
And that's the thing. There's a lot of thought. So I give them credit.
Yeah.
There's a lot of thought. You have to watch it, like, pause.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Right.
And that's why they had like 1 million
Right.
I can
impressions
respect-
just on Twitter.
Yeah.
I respect the effort that went into it, but then I see the Titans doing so well with the same thing they did last year, and I'm like, the novelty is just gone for me.
It wasn't as
Why
good
are-
as last year
Yeah.
because it was the same.
Well, last year you got dumb people who didn't know any of the teams, and every single one
So
with them
funny.
messing it up. And then this one, they did know who the teams were, and you kind of relied on random jokes from, like, I think you saw one of the clips. It was like, what are 3 words to describe this team, was how they set it up. So, yeah, it was, it had some laughs. There were some funny ones. I like the peaked in 1970 for the Jets. That was pretty funny.
I'm just gonna fully admit that I take it personally, like the other ones. Like I'm just like ours is better. Like I
agree.
like
That's fine.
I
I
don't
totally agree.
like the Chargers one. I watched I didn't watch a ton of them because I was watching the Celtics game, but I watched some of them and I was just like, this is ours is better than this one. Like that sort of thing. So
got a niche.
yeah, I
What
heard
do you think of the Cowboys one? The prank calls.
Yeah, that was
Oh.
interesting.
Yeah, I saw that one.
I'd like to. Who do they call that? Was the bye week? That one was funny.
Oh, I don't know.
It was an athlete. John Wall. It was John Wall.
Yeah.
That one was kind of funny. The Bills like had Josh Allen living in like the open pile of dirt.
Yeah, it was
Where-
a Parks
Yeah.
and Rec
Yeah.
little. That was
Yeah.
very niche, but I actually liked that.
Yeah.
They had him playing.
It does make
Andy
sense because
Dwyer.
he does kind of look like Chris Pratt.
He does.
Yeah.
He did good
so-
acting
really
in
does.
it.
Yeah.
He did good acting
Yeah.
in it, I think, too.
Yeah.
Evan's
Yeah.
biased
It was,
on that one.
it was okay.
Yeah.
I thought that was
Good, not
that
great.
one was fine.
Good, not
Yeah.
great.
Yeah.
But Alex, I think people are actually genuinely interested of like the birth of this idea and
Oh my
like how it
God.
came to be.
Yeah.
I'm gonna embarrass you a little bit.
No, it's okay because
but-
it's kind of like funny.
No, yeah, I just like I think people actually care and want to know like how this all came to be, and you're the brains behind it. So
I think it went back to last year where I was so proud of what we put out, and I really had I think I decorated the rooms in that. I had a very minor role, and I'm not gonna lie, it kind of took it personally that I wasn't tapped more for the writing process of that. But I was like, okay, you know what? Proud of
Well,
the team.
Deuce wanted to own that.
Well, it was
I thought
great.
it was Neil that owned that.
I think it was Neil. But I had really nothing to do with that. So I was like, okay, I could have been an asset, but whatever. I'll do my part. I'll whatever. And then, but just right after we published it last year, I was just so proud of the team and just like really felt a lot of pressure that we have to kind of. We killed it last year.
Well, we had some other ideas that we kind
Yeah,
of looked
so
into.
that was the
and,
thing.
And they didn't. It was like, this is not going to
Well,
work.
that's-
Our initial schedule release
Yeah.
video last year, I said, let's do The Town. It's one of my all-time favorite movies. Steal a schedule. Like, I could just visualize it in my head. But then, I don't know, the conversation started progressing as we're actually seriously doing this. And then we had an idea, I won't say what it was, that I really, really liked. That was the hardest part about it, is that I really loved the idea, but just me and Junie kind of had a sidebar conversation. Junie directed it, and I felt like we were going to leave something on the table a little bit because I just wanted to be better than last year's. So Junie and I were just kind of sidebarring, making jokes about like what the Town one would look like hypothetically. And then we were just kind of going down like Boston movies, and he was like, honestly, my favorite Boston movie is Good Will Hunting. And I was like, we could do that. And then I was like, wait,
Yeah.
there's legs
there's
here.
something here.
And
Right.
him and I super informally, or I think we were on a Zoom call together, just kept talking and just looking at the trailer and seeing the different lines and how we could really easily adapt it with each punchline, each major scene. And then we were like, who would we have in this? And then we were like,
me,
in
of
a
course.
perfect world, Julian Edelman,
Yeah.
Gronk is his sidekick.
And we have to have Ernie.
as the professor
Yeah.
is gold. Or not the professor, as Robin
Robin
Williams'
Williams.
character.
Yeah.
Like it's writing itself.
Yeah.
And then you work in the Easter eggs. So
And me.
yeah,
Don't forget me.
exactly. Junie and I kind of had like a whiteboard in his room with just funny scenes that would be cool to adapt. And then we brought it to you guys in a group meeting where we were very much on board to do this first idea. And then we were like, okay, if we can't do this, does anyone have any backup ideas? And I almost like was nervous to even say it, But Junyi thankfully kind of spoke up and was like, can we tell you guys just this one idea we had? I'll let Alex explain it. And I saw Fred's eyes just light up as I was explaining it. And I was like, okay, wait, I think we have something here. But it was like, can we pull it off? Because at that point, we're a few months out, if not just weeks.
Yeah.
We have to get Julian Edelman to fly across the country.
Right.
Gronk to fly across the country. And then mesh that up with Gerard's schedule as he's preparing for the NFL draft, the first of his career. Like, not a big deal.
Draft. Yep.
And not only that, but
RKK
schedule,
right.
which the fact that, and I don't think people realize that we filmed the Goodwill Hunting scene in one day.
Yeah, the whole thing.
One day, and we got Julian Edelman out in time to go to the Red Sox game.
Yeah.
Which is
barely, but we did.
Literally barely. Like, I was panicking, and the fact that it came together, it was like the end of the day. I was like, I feel like this is a high.
And
like, this
is
wild.
You mentioned Junhee Chung,
our director.
Yeah, our senior
Fearless leader.
editor, but the way he organized the day, for the crew, like you're dealing with different people's schedules, especially the owner. And, like, it has to be in that window. You can't be like, oh, can you hold on? We're running a little late. He had to hit everything. Yep. And I think we were ahead of schedule by the end of the day.
We were. And and even with Robert wanting to kind of, I almost said shoot the S word, but talk and see and catch up with Gronk and Jules.
Yeah.
And I just, like, I'm not going to be the one to say, okay, Robert, we need to get them to the next scene. You literally just have to wait for them to finish having their moment.
Right.
So I was like looking at my watch, like,
I know.
We're going to do this. This is okay. This is fine.
And then the final scene, we're out on the practice field with Julian and Ernie.
Everyone's
in the stands,
tired, ready to go.
We're ready to go. Cameras are ready. Lights are ready. All of a sudden, the helicopter from the helicopter pad starts up. I'm like, oh no.
We have to wait 10 minutes for the helicopter.
So I drive the
golf cart
over there to see if I can see anyone, like, what's going on. And finally I get somebody on the phone who's like, yeah, he's on his way out. So we had to wait for the owner to get into the helicopter and leave. So that was like at least 15, 20 minutes that we had to wait for that.
Totally.
Yeah.
And then I don't want to gloss over the town scene because I think
that's my favorite
at the
part.
end was so funny. The visual of the nun mask, that's one of my favorite movies of all time. But I need people to know Marcus Jones ad-libbed all of that.
Yeah.
The trunk with David
a lot of people
Andrews,
ask, who
natural.
were the players involved in that last scene?
So obviously Marcus Jones is probably the most visual one because he speaks. Pop is the one he tells, okay, you're driving now. That's Pop Douglas. Kendrick Bourne is in the passenger seat. You can hear his laugh. Now that I said it's Kendrick Bourne, you can just hear the laugh the whole time. And then, of course, David Andrews was closing the trunk. We couldn't get the mask over his beard. And Marcus Jones ad-libbed all of that.
Right. You gave them no lines.
They were just supposed to throw the mask down and be like, bro, come on. No. Marcus ad-libbed it. And then the thing with the trunk was funny because they really left the trunk open. And we're like, get the trunk.
That was the funniest
part. So David gets out, and you'll see this in the behind the scenes. I'll tease the behind the scenes video a little bit. But David goes to close the trunk. Shout out to Toyota. They gave us a new Sequoia and a new Supra. But David goes to close the trunk on the Sequoia, and it's a button trunk. So it's like not going down, and he's like fiddling with it.
But, if you want to see Toyota's best offers, including those not seen on TV, go to buyatoyota.com. It's Toyota's official website for deals from the official vehicle of the New England Patriots. Toyota, let's go make a release video. So thank you to Toyota for supplying the vehicles.
I want to give Alex her flowers. The script is your baby. That was incredible. Junhee, I said to him after we did it, I was like, you were in your element, man, like directing that shoot. I've seen him do a lot of different things since he's been working here, but that was Junhee at his best, he had it, was so good. And I was like, honestly, a little bit nervous because I'd never done anything like that before. And like, he just was like, you're just gonna just say it, like you've been saying it, and just super calm. And you said he had this strict schedule to stick to. You never would have known it based off of like his demeanor or anything like that. So those two people, you guys killed it.
And it was like a real movie in that at one point he comes up to me and says, we're gonna run a little over budget. And I'm like, what? Why? But that's what happens in movies,
Yeah.
It was a lot to fit in one day. It's like a miracle.
Yeah.
I couldn't believe we did it.
I mean, there was
The town
wardrobe.
scene was the
there
second day.
I walk in, and there's wardrobe. There's like quiet on set signs. Like this was
Did you
like
get makeup?
No makeup.
We shut
No.
down like the whole office, pretty
Yeah.
much, the
Yeah.
whole admin level, and
Yeah. So it was good.
Yeah.
A lot of fun.
So what are we doing next year?
yeah.
Right? Seriously.
I have a couple ideas.
Okay.
Oh, no, she's already ready.
So
to
who
talk.
is
Already
the
cooking.
Alex this year saying next year I'm going to be the one?
I hope there is someone, because
Yeah.
that's how we push each other to be better, right?
Right. Exactly.
What is it? Iron. Is it?
Iron sharpens iron.
That's
Yes.
the one.
That's
the
Drake
one.
May and Joe
That's
Milton.
the one. Yes. So, but the schedule did come out.
It did.
The schedule? What?
So you and the star of the
Oh, I
of
was
the
so
trailer,
fortunate to be in his presence.
broke that down. It's a big night for Evan. He was like
It's all
he
over
was
the place.
dominating.
How many Twitter followers you get yesterday?
Oh,
n-
really?
It was just a lot of people that were my mentions were blowing up for a few minutes there, and I just a lot of people asking where Paul was, though. They wanted to know why Paul wasn't in the shot. So that made a lot of people sad. Greg Bedard asking.
I saw Bedard made fun of me.
Yeah, Bedard
that was
saying,
the only one I saw.
"Oh yeah, where's Paulie? You know, he's too good looking for
Too
the
good
part."
looking.
I got
Yeah,
made
I
fun
said
of.
I agree.
I got made fun of a few times, but that's all right.
You
The
look
best
like you
part
look
was
like you
you
were
were-
like serious. You were like, oh my god, this is going down right now.
Were you really eating the buffalo wings in the back?
I felt like I should, but no, I don't know how long they were sitting out.
I know.
A
they kept
couple
saying,
hours. That's
Don't
why I
eat
asked.
the food. Don't eat the food.
I've eaten 2 hour.
I felt so bad too, because the catering guy brought Veronica, and shout out to Veronica, the set design,
Yes,
brilliant.
Yeah, she did a great job.
But
yeah.
the chef, the catering people brought Veronica, Junie, and I down to just like approve the Bud Light beer hall scene, and I saw all the food, and I was like, oh my god, I feel so bad that none of this is gonna get eaten, but it looks so beautiful. It's about to sit here for hours.
Yeah.
So yeah, I wanted to make sure you didn't eat the chicken.
Good stuff. But let's talk about the schedule.
Yeah.
What do we think?
Well, London, I think, is the big piece. So
Yeah.
going back to Europe again, I mean, late bye week, a lot of road travel. I mean,
Yeah,
I know,
I mean,
They
if you're-
did us dirty.
If you're looking for an
Not
insertion
having
point
that
at the bye week
bye
for
week
Drake May,
after
you're gonna have to
London.
wait a while.
yeah, no easy place to insert Drake.
Yeah.
But I mean, I think Evan and I have said a couple times that there's no easy way with this schedule. Like, it's going to be tough. And I know now that all the analytics have come out, it's saying like, oh, well, they do have some extra time to rest a little bit between the games, which is good. But I think
because they have no prime time.
yeah, right. The third most travel. So, it is what it is. This is what happens when you stink. You get tough schedules, and they're not going to try to make things easy on you. So,
Well, they
they're
got
gonna have
hurt
to-
by not having the back-to-back West Coast games.
Yeah, that was
So now
surprising.
you're having two big trips to.
Well, and you're
out
going to
west.
London, then you're going back
Yeah.
out there
Mhm.
twice. It's tough. I did write down. I mean, they are underdogs in every single game. I wrote all the lines down. Just I don't know, because I'm crazy. But it's it's.
I think it's them and the Panthers
Carolina.
are the
The
only
ones.
two teams that are underdogs in every game.
Yeah, the closest one is they're 2.25 underdogs to the Colts.
And
That's
as a
the
result,
smallest.
just one primetime game, a Thursday night game, which everyone has to play.
yeah.
No, Carolina has
Yeah,
no
none.
problem.
No,
doing
yeah.
games.
no, I didn't say that they didn't, but I'm saying for us, just one.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
it's a Thursday night game, which everybody. Oh, they don't even have a Thursday. I thought every team had to play Thursday night.
I
this year.
did too,
No,
and they're not.
Carolina is the only team that doesn't have any prime time.
Like, nobody even wants to watch them on Thursdays.
Yeah.
I thought that was a rule that every
Damn.
team had to have a Thursday night game.
I did too.
Giving the
That was
Patriots
surprising too.
an early Thursday night game though is just a tiny little bone, right?
Yeah,
like
get
it's
it
like
over
not
with.
like they were like
Yeah,
bent
before you're
over
too banged
backwards to
up.
do it. But
Against a familiar team too in the
Yeah.
division, so that's.
I think that's the silver lining, though, as you mentioned the rest. If you want to have a silver lining from what is a tough schedule, but we knew the opponents coming in, so we knew that they were going to be playing tough opponents coming in. But I think the silver lining is that based off of rest days in between games and things like that, the Patriots grade out as the second best team, I guess is the way to put it, in terms of net differential of opponent rest versus Patriots
really
rest.
scraping the barrel.
But I think that's really the.
Who knew
I
that
just
they had
I
analytics
just
on the
want to end it
schedule
all.
now?
Like,
You guys lost
the
me.
geeks they've taken over the schedule now.
But that's
I didn't realize I could despise this any more than I do. And then I saw all those analytics this morning, and I'm like, I just can't believe someone would
Right.
take the time to do this.
I know.
I just can't.
but at the end of the day, that's what it's all about, though, because you know the opponents.
Right.
So it's not like you know where you're playing and who you're playing. You just don't know when. So really, the only thing that the schedule really controls is your bye week and how much rest in between games you have.
And I would say that Mike's point about London, because you didn't know you were going to London. Jacksonville did, but
and
the Patriots didn't.
That's a good point.
Yeah. So that's all. That's where it starts and ends. Now, I would say that, again, you didn't find this out yesterday, but the other thing that's sort of a tough break for the Patriots is they get the last place matchups with the two other divisions in the AFC, and they get Cincinnati, who is not really a last place team.
No.
And even the Chargers are probably not the least talented team in the AFC West.
Right.
Those are the two last place teams they match up with, so that's a tough break.
It's a tough one. Real quick though, with me and Evan did a quick schedule release video, but my favorite was there was a comment on YouTube that these two guys know nothing about football. And I'm like, which is fine, maybe we don't, but like on a schedule release analysis, like what football are we even talking about? We're talking about like
honestly,
dates.
that I said this to you after we shot that video, and I'm kind of with Paul on the whole schedule thing. Frankly, it's talking about the schedule. Deuce was like, they play in London, and I'm like,
they do.
Yeah. What's the other takeaway from that?
Maybe it'll be Mac Jones.
We'll see Claire.
I was like, yeah, it'll be really cool to see like the European Patriots fans again, like last year in Germany. That was the take.
Maybe if you knew something about football, Evan, you'd have something to say.
Nothing else to add.
And the Patriots are 2-0 at Wembley.
There you go. So. A little different team, but first time since 2012. There, I love the Gronk. GIF of him doing the Buckingham Palace guard kind of walk.
The Mark Palace.
And I don't know if it's going to become bulletin board material in the locker room, but I heard the Jaguars requested the Patriots.
Oh, really? Mac was
so
in there.
I thought that was kind of strange because based off of obviously I know we were the home quote unquote home team last year in Frankfurt, but it doesn't really mean anything, right? No. That's going to be a pro Patriots crowd at Wembley. There's no way that Jacksonville has taken over that stadium.
There's some good fan clubs out there.
Yeah.
I bet you that will be a pro Patriots crowd.
It's actually a compliment because they requested the Patriots because they thought they were worth requesting.
What is she doing?
Really? I thought they requested it so that they knew they could beat us.
No.
Or they thought they could.
They requested Buffalo.
Look at that.
That was really cute of you.
Hi, Nicolette.
Aww.
I thought those were for me.
You were late?
So now you have to.
Evan gets one.
You have to give your acceptance speech. Like.
I'd like to thank my God, my mom,
just let everyone,
my dad.
Let everyone know that no matter what you want to do, don't let anyone tell you can't do it.
Last year, I didn't get to help write, and you know what? It's how you bounce back from adversity.
Right.
It's a team win.
Yeah.
It was a team win.
Really pulled yourself up from the bootstraps.
I'm getting too much credit because, we pulled this off in a day. There's no one that didn't go above and beyond for this. So.
Yeah.
That was very nice.
Good stuff. Yeah. All right. So schedule. I'm sure you talked about rookie minicamp on yours, and we talked about it on Tuesday. So that's pretty much taken care of.
Yeah. Well, we got an OTA practice coming up Monday.
So
that's
going to be a big one because it's not just
team.
rookies.
Full team. Yeah. Everybody was seeing some of the footage of them all finally getting to work together. We're going to hear from Jacoby Brissett today too at 1:00. I think Evan's going to go check that out. So we haven't even heard from him since he officially signed with the team, and I think for all intents and purposes at this time he is the starting quarterback. So be interesting just to see what he says and thinks about Drake May. And I know Tyquan Thornton is going right now. He's trying to get that to $190. So
soaking wet.
Look out.
Yeah.
Eating those cheeseburgers.
I am curious to the questions. I haven't been following it, obviously, been on the show, but I mean, it kind of tees itself up to. So, this is year 3 for you. They just drafted 2 receivers. Pop Douglas emerged last year as a contributor. How do you see yourself, kind of fitting into this group? I mean, I think he's up against it. He's going to have to really have a great spring. There's no more like, oh, he's got a tweaked hamstring. He's going to, miss a few practices. Like, I think if he has any hope, he's got to be out there every single day.
I agree.
In and out,
I think he's got to have a good camp.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Period.
Consistency. I mean, did he get hurt last year? I don't remember. Like, was he rounding? I mean, this is how much of an impression he makes.
He got hurt.
Yeah,
I thought
hurt
with you guys in Green Bay.
Yeah, in Green Bay.
That was it. That was it.
And
that was very.
For that one.
That was disappointing.
Yeah. He left practice against the Packers, and I don't think he practiced again for the rest of the summer after that.
Yeah.
So he He got hurt. Did he start the year on IR? I want to say he did.
He did the
Yeah,
second year in a row.
I feel like you're right.
Yeah,
He got hurt in like the first. He got hurt last year too as a rookie. Like
So
they were
he-
like
The first
running him into
game,
the
right?
line.
Yeah.
last year in Green Bay, I remember it clear as day. He caught a deep ball from Mac Jones, dove to the ground like as he was catching the football, and landed on his shoulder and hurt his shoulder in the process of the
right.
play. And it was like the one flash from Tyquan Thornton, and then
he gets hurt on
immediately
it.
I see him walking off the field with the trainers. I was like,
Yep.
Doing one of these, doing the N'Keal Harry.
yeah.
Congrats to the Celtics for advancing to the conference finals.
There you go.
Yeah.
Yep. I feel like the
Did
Celtics.
you go? Were you there?
Gentlemen
No.
sweep.
But I feel like the Celtics are at the point now where, and I realize they haven't won a championship yet like the Patriots, but like it's all just kind of like nothing until they get to the Eastern Conference Finals now.
Oh, Bradley.
And it's like that I don't even feel like they even have played a playoff game yet. Like a real playoff game. Like last night I dawned on me, I was like, they just made the Eastern Conference Finals, and it did not feel that way. It felt like they won a regular season
Sean
game.
Grandy certainly chastised you, my friend,
It was weird. It was bizarre.
for not genuflecting in front of the
Like,
Celtics.
am I supposed to be excited about this? Yes, but anyways.
I am a little worried.
About what?
Just being able to turn it on defensively. You know, like I think last night they allowed too much offense from the Cavaliers.
I would much rather them have to flip the switch and turn it on than go 7 games, 2 series
Sure.
in a row to get here. I think in the
absolutely.
last couple of years, they've gone in longer, tougher series early on in the playoffs, and
Yeah.
it's come back to bite them in the end.
Yeah.
They just got such lucky breaks with Jimmy Butler being out. The Cavs, I saw the injury report for the Cavs yesterday, and I was like,
It's
are they
comical.
just punting the
Yeah.
game?
It's
Like,
comical.
Are they punting the playoffs?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're tanking.
Yeah. I mean, in 2022, when they made the finals, lost to the Warriors, they went 7 against Milwaukee and then 7 against Miami.
Yeah.
And then when they won the first 2 games against Golden State, and they completely ran out of gas. Like, they just hit a cliff at that point. And I'm hoping that because they had basically coasted through the first 2 rounds, that they'll have plenty left in the tank.
Yeah.
Do you still feel like this team is, you don't know what you're going to get night to night?
No, I feel like the biggest thing with them is that they're so talented offensively that they can win the game 130 to 125 if they have to.
Yeah, if they need to
So
turn it on in
the
the fourth.
defensive side of the ball is optional. Like that I feel that's how they view it sometimes.
Yeah.
So to Fred's point last night, yeah, I think the Cavs had an easy street on offense especially for the first half of the game. But I think the Celtics looked at it and said, we can play this game with them, and we're going to score 113. They're not going to score 113 points
I know,
with this
but-
lineup.
And that's true. I don't disagree with one word you said, but I'd rather see a team go in there and say, we're just going to just put our foot on this team's throat from the beginning with our defense and just smother them and don't even let them off the ground. I
hope
it's
the
a
Knicks-
to
I
me
think-
it's a mindset thing.
I think the
feel
next
that. I
series will
understand.
help them kind of snap back into that because
Yeah.
they have some
Well,
good competitors.
listen,
Even if their guys aren't like the most skilled guys, they have guys
Who?
that
The
compete.
Pacers?
The Knicks.
The Knicks.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
I think if they play the Knicks, it's going to be
The
It'll be
Knicks
good.
can't. The Knicks can't score.
no, but
Indy can
Brunson
score.
has like a foot injury too. DiVincenzo and Hart are like good players, but they're all like
Yeah, they're
hustle.
tough.
They're
They're
hustle
tough, but
players.
they
You know what
can't
I mean?
score.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, like how tall is Hart compared to Tatum and Brown, and then DiVincenzo, like he's a good hustle player, but like he's out of shape.
but
And
they're gritty.
yeah,
The
for
Knicks-
sure. I
the
love
Knicks
the
are
Knicks.
Evans' thing is going to happen with the Knicks. They're going to play like we're going to score 120 points.
Yeah.
They can't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whereas the Pacers, they can't stop you, but they can score.
Yeah.
So that would be a different kind. I think the Celtics would have to play a little defense to make sure that Indy is down around 100 instead of 120.
Yeah, that's fair. I think the Knicks remind me a little bit of the Heat in that they have this kind of like
Yeah,
toughness and
They're
grit.
very
Scrappy,
tough.
gritty,
They
yeah.
play. They play like
Yeah.
Thibodeau. I mean, they're
Yeah.
And I
tough.
think the NBA is better when the Knicks are good too. Like I think Celtics Knicks will be awesome.
Yeah,
That'll
I
be
mean,
such a fun series.
5 games.
They have one good player.
Yeah, but compared to the
Denver,
rest of the playoffs,
I'm with you.
Denver is what
I'm
I'm
worried
scared
about Denver
of.
because they're tougher
Yup.
than the Celtics.
Oh,
Seeing-
yeah.
seeing
No,
what
They won't
them
have a
with
double-digit
Minnesota, like,
lead 4 times
wow.
in the fourth quarter.
Yeah.
Like that would be the difference to me.
Yeah, no, there's no doubt that there's no reason to like be optimistic about Denver. Like
Mm-hmm.
that's gonna be a series.
Yeah,
like
they-
that's
Now I think they're going to beat Denver, but they're going to have to be tougher.
healthy too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they could
I
use,
need
they could use
Kristaps,
Porzingis
like,
back.
I think that's a
Hundo
big
beat.
thing.
That's big, Alex.
Like huge, because I don't
Yeah.
know how.
Yeah, a little
Al's been
little Celtics
amazing,
minute
but
for you.
like,
See you.
I think that's the biggest
Dennis,
thing
where'd
though,
you go?
I have
that
nothing to
people don't are. I understand the Celtics are a much better team than the Cavs. I understand that, but Porzingis is sort of their X factor. Like he's the one. Like he's their Gronkowski.
Yeah.
Like he's their one that makes them unstoppable. Like when they have
Yeah.
Porzingis, they're unstoppable. This team without Porzingis is still really really good, but it's not the juggernaut that they are.
Right,
with
and you look
Porzingis.
at it like they had, like for most of the regular season, they have so many options offensively.
Yeah.
So you take Porzingis out. Derek White kind of had a bad series against Cleveland.
He did.
Horford had a terrible series until last night.
Yeah.
So now it's just basically
Holiday too. You could argue Holiday.
Holiday
didn't
was
really
terrible against Miami. But
finally
he was,
turned it on.
The 2
exactly.
games in
But,
Cleveland, he
like,
played well.
Before this series, almost non-existent.
But the whole
which is
regular
surprising.
season, all of those
And to
guys
Fred's
were
point,
all playing
Drew,
well.
like that's where we needed that defensive kind of emphasis.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the fear with Denver is that if Porzingis isn't in that series, like you cannot play Luke Cornett against Denver.
Alex, did you watch the game last night?
Well, I watched the game last night, but I was also just refreshing.
So you weren't
Twitter
paying attention. Did
reading
you watch the
comment
game?
section.
Who covered Mobley?
Who covered Mobley? Oh, not
'Cause
Al.
I had TJ had a lacrosse game last night. I saw not one play of the game last night.
So they
Me neither.
They moved. They had honestly they had Tatum covering Mobley a lot.
Okay.
Over the last couple games because they wanted Al to kind of roam and help off
I was wondering because
penetrators.
of Horford. I'm like, and I saw the stats. Obviously,
Yeah.
Horford was like 6 for 12
Yeah,
or
no,
something on
yeah,
threes,
he had a
6 for
great
13.
game.
Yeah.
So he was great, but I was wondering, like, oh, the other team center had 33 points. Like, did he? But he didn't cover him.
No,
Okay.
look, and I know we've gone very long on our Celtics
Seriously,
Unfiltered.
though. No, I know, but seriously.
But they, no matter what anybody's going to say, they will allow Evan Mobley to take as many 2-point shots as he wants to take, and they don't care. Like if you want to win the game by hitting hook shots from 5 feet away in the paint, they will say we're going to go 1-on-1 against your big. If Evan Mobley scores 30 points, we're going to hit 23s. So it's not the math is not going to math in your favor.
Yeah, I think it's
that's
what
it.
you said at the beginning. They knew that was a game that they were going to win, so there was no need to do anything different.
All right.
Anyways.
855 PATS
Bruins.
500 is
Boss
the
man
ace
putting
ticket
the hammer
hotline.
down.
Web radio at patriots.com is the email address. Lots of emails coming in. So let's get to some of those. Anything else before we open it up to the listeners?
No, I think in schedule, that's it. And we're on to, I guess, TB12 night too. It's OTA's TB12 night. Those are the big upcoming pieces.
Yeah.
I love when people are like, "So what do you guys do in the off season?" Just like chill.
Next
We're
offseason
like,
is going to seem so boring. Like it's just like it can't ever be whole new coaching staff, like new management. The
Draft,
Brady night,
third
third
overall
overall pick. Like it's been. I mean, it's made it go by fast. It's hard to believe it's like practically June right now.
Let's see. Grant in Minnesota. Kudos on the video, he says. Love how you bring back former players. Don't do gimmicky or trendy stuff like the Chargers, Cowboys, Titans, or use celebrities as a clickbait. Believe me, we would if we could.
And Affleck, what's up?
Yeah, it's cool that our former...
Can I just pause for 1 second? So using former players isn't clickbait, but using celebrities is. Okay, got it.
It's cool that our former and current guys got in on this video and took time during the offseason to do it. Hopefully we get some new superstars here, too, with this draft so you can work with them. I wanted to ask how early in advance you guys get the schedule. A lot of other teams every year kind of have their games in random order when they reveal it. I like how you guys got creative editing in and cutting the scenes so it was all in order and slowly got revealed throughout the video. We get it about the same time every other team gets it. We get it maybe a day in advance.
It's kind of one of the things I always look for when you watch the videos is like, okay, how did they handle the lateness of getting the schedule? Because that's always the thing. Whatever idea you have, it's all right. We're not going to have the schedule till 24 hours. Like, I mean, another idea we had talked about another idea where we were talking to like Disney about rights and things, and they were like, well, we're going to need approval. You can't turn around something in 24 hours. Like, we need to look. So, it's things like that blow things up completely. But it's always interesting. I mean, some teams, like we just abandon, like, who cares? You know what the schedule is. Like, let's not even worry about it.
Right. These videos aren't really
Yeah.
to tell you what the schedule is.
Yeah.
It's
But
just-
that was
it's
us
just
last
to celebrate the reveal of the schedule.
That was us last year with the way the script was written.
Yeah.
It was like, yeah, it's going to be out of order, but like whatever. It's still cool. They get the point.
Yeah,
But
nobody's
this
gonna be
year
like, I don't know what the schedule. I watched
were
this whole
able
thing. I don't
to
know what the
avoid
schedule
that.
actually is.
Like every time you need to refer back to the schedule, you have to watch the video. That's not the
not the
Right.
point.
That's not the reason
pause.
for it.
Edelman's like clock against the.
Yeah, the glass on the napkin was one of the
What is it?
reveals.
What are
You know,
they-
there's the.
What are the dates?
Yeah.
I don't.
That was the part where like we all just lost our minds laughing.
I hope some of the outtakes that didn't make the final cut
It
of
is.
that are in
I
some
just,
of the.
I
saw
gotta say,
that.
I had to say just one thing about that though. There was, Gronk, when they put the thing up, and Gronk's like, "How do you like them apples? I love apples." But there was one take they did, and I won't say the actual word. You know what the word is. But instead of like saying, "How about them after the apples?" Gronk just looks at Evan and unloads a perfect Gronk. F you! Like right at Evan. And
It's
it was the
amazing.
funniest thing
No
I've
one
ever seen in my
expected
life.
it.
Just a
We lost our
passionate,
minds.
He's got
hardcore
double birds.
Oh
Yeah,
my
double
God.
birds.
Oh.
Right to Evan.
It's in the behind the scenes.
We
Everyone
all,
does.
me and Edelman completely break character, which
Yeah.
is
You broke the fourth wall.
I did not even really know what they were gonna say to me about beyond the how about them apples thing.
I have a video of
I'm getting,
Evan's reaction.
I'm getting
I'll
word
post
right
it
now.
on
I'm getting
Twitter.
word from
one
certain
person at a time.
Matisse Bauman right now saying Evan is on first take right now. I don't know what that means.
Oh,
but
wow.
I don't think that's a good thing.
oh no! Did you break some news or something?
No,
Maybe
no,
they're playing
that's
his-
happened.
You revealed that
They're playing our feature film.
the Patriots actually didn't want Drake May. Evan Lazar, Patriots.com. What? Maybe we can change this channel here.
Phil writes in from Vermont. I don't have a football take at the moment. I just have to say that learning Evan has never mowed a lawn was the least surprising thing I've heard this decade. That was last show.
Ever?
It's up there.
That was funny.
I mean,
You've never ever mowed a lawn?
shoveled, raked leaves. Sorry, no, that wasn't on the chores list
City
for
kid.
me.
Yeah, city
Wow.
kid, right?
Yeah,
Did you have a yard?
City
Yeah.
hands. Been counting money all your life.
yeah.
Hello, everyone. Hello, Maureen.
Who's this
It's
from?
Claire.
Oh.
Just a quick note to say a fab job by Alex and everyone. Love the little in the background things too, like PU on the TV in RKK's office.
Yeah, well, he just watches it, obviously.
Yeah, that was real,
just
actually. We didn't even
just
have to edit
randomly
that in.
happened.
Yeah.
It's like, don't interrupt my show. I'm trying to
My
watch
stories.
my guys.
Watching my stories.
I guess we'll do it, but we got to leave it up on the thing. Oh, boy.
Casting, this is from Ford in Savannah. Casting Gronk as Ben Affleck was beautiful. I was surprised that I got more excited when Evan showed up in the cast than former Patriots. Maybe I need a new hobby or to question everything in my life. Chef's kiss to the town ending. Joe Mazzulla is somewhere watching this on repeat. So I guess that's his favorite movie.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I do. I,
Yes,
I
he
hope
went
he's
on
watching the Knicks on repeat.
He went on
not
Pardon My
ours.
Take. He went on Pardon My
right?
Take. It was a 10 out of 10 interview. He was so funny, and he talks about his obsession with the town.
Yeah, he watches it like religiously, like weekly. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Oh, I guess they're talking about the video, and they got like the screenshot up of Evan. So.
That's great.
Lazar. Yeah.
But I've never mowed a lawn, so.
Spee in Fresno,
Well, you're an
speaking of
actor.
whether it's okay to eat 2-hour-old buffalo wings, what rules do you have
Oh, good. Here we
for
go.
when something is or is not okay to eat? I'm more of an anarchist on this subject, as I've gone as far as eating
let's go.
remains from
This
a
is a
random
deep topic.
tray left outside a hotel room for disposal. How far are you all willing to go on the old food front?
Here we go.
Do you guys have days for leftovers, like Chinese
We
food?
try to.
Oh.
A couple days.
It's more like a week
couple days.
Yeah.
for me.
I've
Fred,
read
I'm-
some bad things
Most
about rice.
food is a
I'm
week.
closer-
Rice is the only thing that
Rice is bad.
I don't mess
Don't
with.
leave rice.
So I'm a little bit. A week sounds a little extreme, but
Would you
so
still let
we
the
got
dog?
we got a bunch of Chinese food on Sunday, and I had it last night for dinner. And Beth was looking at me like I might as well have just eaten right off of
right.
the ground.
No.
Well,
And I was like, it's not
It's
that
not
bad.
that
Beth.
bad.
I'm gonna kick this now to expiration dates on food,
La-
which
yeah.
are like kind of like false.
Arbitrary.
And like my wife, she's like, if it's the day before, like even if it's like sometimes it's like sell by. I'm like, well, it's sell by. They don't expect you to eat it the same day it's sell. Otherwise, it's like best buy. So there's always these like little loopholes, and then you read things
do.
like that are like those are just totally arbitrary. They just make them up. It's
It
like,
is. I took a
you know.
food safety science course in
I'm not
college.
surprised.
you
To
did.
just like
course
I
you did.
needed 3 credits and it needed to be science, so I was like, you know what, I'll pick this class, and I'm glad I did because it's actually.
Was that
I
when you
think
learned
back
about
to it a
gut
lot.
health? For,
Yeah.
Oh no, that was my own research. That was
Probiotics.
on my own time. But yeah,
Would you guys eat
it's
an
like a
expired thing?
liability if
Like a meat
No.
Like a chicken
No.
breast. You got a pack of chicken breasts. It expires tomorrow. You're
My,
like,
Yeah.
my father
Tomorrow.
was
I would eat that. I would
very
cook that and
big
eat that
on
for sure.
on leftovers had a shelf life in my household.
Yeah.
Like, you did not eat things like Paul. That was pushing it a little bit.
pushing it a little.
What about milk?
Really fun.
It's the smell.
Smell
test.
it.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
gotta smell
Yeah.
it.
They sell if
milk,
you go
yeah.
to.
I'm a stickler on milk.
Yeah.
I don't go to the date on milk.
I don't mess with milk.
It's bad.
Yeah.
It gets bad.
You know what's
Yeah,
the
it
word?
does, but you can smell
You
it.
can smell it though.
When
you
I
can
when
smell
I have,
everything.
When I have coffee and I put the half and half in first, and then I dump
it
the
curdles?
coffee, and then it curdles, and you're like, well, there
Yeah.
goes that whole cup of coffee. You got to start over, do over.
You gotta
No.
just keep smelling it now.
Hey.
Yeah.
Megan,
What
did you see
about
your
things
throw-
you drop on the floor?
Oh, I'll eat that.
If it's in my
3-second
house,
rule.
I'll eat it.
3-second rule.
No matter what it
Oh.
is.
And then if you pick it
Yeah.
up, there's like a hair
I
on it
agree
or
with
something.
Alex.
Yeah.
If it's in my house,
It's in my
I'll eat
house.
it.
I clean my floors. I know they're clean.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One thing a couple years ago, I was in Portland, Maine, at an amazing restaurant, Central Provisions.
I've been there.
Amazing
I
restaurant.
love how
One
she
of my
tells these
favorites.
stories. Like,
Yeah.
it's amazing.
So there were
restaurant.
these girls. I was on a date with my boyfriend at the time. There were these girls that got oysters.
Oh boy.
They left like 5 oysters on their plate and left. And we had their seat after them. And my ex was like, hey, you don't have to take those. Like, I will eat those. And I was like,
No.
you know what? I will too.
Oh,
had
okay.
one.
I was
I
going to say,
did.
then you broke up with him.
I wouldn't.
Well, that came later.
Is that why?
Oh, this was.
Is
Among
that, is that why?
among,
Is this the
among
airplane?
many
Was
other.
this a pilot?
Like, this is-
Like, how do you leave oysters? I mean, they're
in Portland, Maine.
You
too.
realize
Yeah.
they look like a giant snot, and you're like, I don't really want to eat that.
They're delicious.
I had them
you don't strike me as an oysters guy.
on a bet at Super Bowl 31,
Oh, jeez.
Fred.
yeah.
So before I was working for you
Yeah. Okay.
in New Orleans,
Yeah.
and I was with my brother and his wife, and my sister-in-law made the bet that I couldn't do. I lost. couldn't eat them.
Couldn't
get
eat
it
'em.
down. Yeah.
I could
Fred
not
seems
eat
like
them.
you're a connoisseur.
Oh,
you
love oysters.
You probably pair them with wines.
No.
No?
I pair them with horseradish
Oh,
and
yeah.
cocktail
Yeah, yeah,
sauce.
yeah.
I tried everything. I
lemon.
tried to kill the taste with everything, and I couldn't do it. It's just
I could eat
exactly the way you
oysters
said.
all day.
Oh, yeah.
All day.
Right out of
yeah.
the shell.
I'm an oysters
so
guy
good.
for sure. Oysters, mussels, clams.
Yeah. No,
Any
no.
of that.
I love it all.
Scallops. I'll
Love
eat
it all.
fried stuff, fried scallops. But when I first lived in LA, I worked as a busboy at a restaurant in Marina Del Rey, and same kind of thing like Alex said. Like sometimes I would see, and this is like starving student. I'm in grad school. I got no money. I'm making whatever it was, like $8 an hour, and you'd clear tables and you'd see jumbo shrimp,
Yep.
clearly not even touched.
Right.
Like still
Still
arranged.
has the little thing on the tail.
Still has the thing, still
Yeah.
arranged beautifully, and you see how they picked around their potatoes a little bit, and at that point I would just, and I had like a little thing, and I'd have a side, bin that I would hide some food, and that was, how you get by. So I didn't know. That never grossed me. Some
Extra
people got
French
grossed out by
fries.
that.
Yeah.
Some people get grossed out by that, but if I got a big grilled jumbo shrimp, and you're starving, and
Yeah. I draw the line at dumpster diving. I don't think I.
no,
That's
no.
where you draw the
Same.
line.
Yeah.
Costanza,
Yeah.
No.
taking the eclair
Actually,
out,
I got
out of the barrel.
I got
Yeah.
one more bad story on this. Probably this is one of the deuces
still
of
on
bad.
the
This is a
doily.
This is a deuce of bad person story. Another one. I was waitering, and waitering, you're stressed out, and clearing plates, and we'd like to wrap this up. I'm like, oh sure. So and I'm giving dump plate, dump in the trash, and then like dump in the trash. Shoot, I just kind of scooped it, wanted to put it back in, and like put it back from the trash in the to go because I didn't want to go back to the table and be like, I accidentally threw it out. Like,
Okay,
I just,
pro tip: if you're getting leftovers, ask the server to bring you the box and
Oh,
do
there
it
you go. That's
yourself.
there you-
Because
it's
if
their
you
fault.
That's
send-
generally what they
if
do
you
now.
send
Yeah.
the waitress to wrap up your food, if you have extra fries, she's getting some of them, and like she's not washing her hands before he or she puts your food into the box.
Yeah.
Like that's just.
Deuce, you were doing the real like starving artist thing out there, waitering
Well,
and bussing tables.
Well, this was when I
and
worked at
re-
Marshside in East Ennis. That was a Cape Cod thing, so sorry to whoever that was, but hopefully it all worked out. But
That's
I-
funny, Alex, that you said that, because that's definitely a trend now. They always bring you the box. And
Yeah.
I always kind of get annoyed at that.
Right. Hey, go
Like,
box
I
it
gotta
up
do
yourself.
it myself.
Now you
but
know.
Now, all right.
Now you know.
So
You
there's a
might have
reason.
some jerk like me being like, whatever.
I would much rather know that at least it's my
Waitress
food.
stations or server stations get trashed. Like the place they go to type stuff into
Oh,
their
yeah.
computer and get you like your drinks
Plus,
and stuff.
they're always out back smoking
too-
cigarettes still. And
Yeah.
you're like, who does this? Like, can I get you more coffee? Get
Oh, honey.
Diana from Somersworth, New Hampshire. We probably got the Thursday night game because we're playing Aaron Rodgers. I don't have high expectations of a winning season, but sure can hope for it. I'm happy we drafted Drake May and receivers. There you go.
All right. What do you think the biggest line is?
San
Biggest-
Francisco, at San Francisco.
That's what do you got?
12.5.
Ooh, 11.5.
Yeah. That's definitely the
I
hardest.
didn't look that
game,
up
honestly.
either.
No.
I'm surprised that they're underdogs in every game. Like, don't they
Yeah.
have a couple of home games
Well,
against, like,
yeah, the closest ones, like
Chargers
I said,
or
the Colts are 2
Tennessee's-
and
Tennessee-
2.25.
no, Tennessee's
Tennessee
on
is
the road.
Tennessee's on the road.
still 2.5 though. Still,
But it's on the
2.5
road.
on the road.
So they're getting a field goal, so they're really
They shouldn't
favorites
be
in that game.
favored on the
Fred's-
road against
Fred's told me
anybody.
about that
Yeah,
before.
they're favorites in that game.
They are, and they're 2.5 against the Chargers at home. But otherwise, it's pretty much 3.5 and up. Sorry, Seattle 2.5 at Seattle. The second highest, biggest line is the Bengals at 8.5. Which
Seattle's a big one.
That's a tough place to play.
Seattle's
Joe
a big
Burrow
game.
coming back. It's almost like Buffalo coming here in 09
could
when
be
you
winless
know,
going
like
to
Brady
London.
came back, and now they're going to go and have to face, Joe Burrow coming back.
I heard Pat McAfee saying that he had the same wrist injury that Burrow had,
Yeah.
and that
It's never been the
it's
same.
never been the same.
Yeah, if I had to
I
play,
love those guys.
if I had to play
You didn't
Burrow,
have the same injury because
like-
you're not him.
I could never drop the ball correct again onto my foot before I kicked it.
yeah, it's a little different when you're.
No, he said it was
punting.
more like when you're falling and bracing yourself.
Oh,
Yeah.
all right.
If I had to play Joe Burrow and the Bengals, I'd like to play him week 1 though. Like,
Right.
I mean, he hasn't played a game, and
That's why I just said Brady 09. Like he was
Yeah.
rusty for that.
I would agree
big
with that.
portion of that game. Yeah, come
The
on, buddy.
No,
Step into it.
The Bengals, they're looking to get it back together, but they've been struggling early in seasons since this sort of renaissance for the Bengals. They've been a good team for 3 or 4 years. They've been struggling early in seasons. I think that's good to play them early.
One more thing to point out. Commanders, last preseason game at 8 p.m. on NBC on Sunday, August 25th. So, Jaden, I mean,
Do you get confirmation that that's on NBC?
this is what it says here on the
Yeah, it
schedule
is.
that I printed
Yeah,
out.
It is
Yeah.
NBC. We did
okay.
get confirmation.
Yeah, so
it's a little mini prime
I
time.
didn't
game.
get that.
Yeah. Oh, it's the.
I
just-
got one that
just-
didn't have home and away.
Just the websites. But yeah, he. But it's so hard to predict, like who's going to play what. Like they're trying to tee it up. Obviously, third preseason game, time to play the rookies. But who knows? Like Jaden Daniels might be the starter. He might be sitting that game, right?
The year
Like,
of anti-Paul
yeah.
continues.
No. Oh no.
National preseason game.
Oh right, you got. Oh,
that's right.
Bob's discount.
Oh, so
voucher.
sorry.
There goes another chunk of change out of my pocket. Review wasn't bad enough.
L from Wisconsin, he says all foods just need the sniff test. It doesn't smell off. If it doesn't smell off, you're good to go.
Yeah, that sounds about right. I mean, vegetables need
I
to
do
kind
that
of be
way
firm.
more than I
like,
care to
but
admit.
also, like-
vegetables can't be
But there's an
eye.
eye test to it too, right? Like if it looks like
Yeah.
there's things going on.
Do you ever get something,
Things
you look
going
at
on.
it, and you're like, doesn't look great.
No.
Let me just put it in the microwave for a little extra time, see if I can kill whatever's on it.
Or like
What?
like the French fry that like is like a little green
Oh,
or
the green
like
French
something.
fry, the green
like-
potato chip.
Yeah,
used to get like
no.
the green in the potato chips
No.
sometimes.
Throw
and you're like,
those out.
"Ugh, no,
Throw
get
those
out."
out every time.
But that's just like a green potato, right? Like that's just part of the potato. That's
No,
natural,
I'm
right?
out.
That's not like. It's
I'm
not
sure
nasty.
it is, but
Just wasn't ready yet.
I know, right? Have you guys ever gotten sick from food poisoning?
Oh,
Yes.
God.
Yeah.
Yes.
Everybody.
At least
No,
twice.
Not Paul. Machine.
Violently.
I got
Really?
a parasite
Cast
from
iron
eating
stomach.
something in New Orleans.
Yeah.
Crawfish.
I don't know what it was.
Me and
Maybe
my
alligator.
dad had undercooked burgers one time from a restaurant. My dad ended up in the hospital.
Jeez.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so like that to me is food poisoning.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
so you're talking about like, I think everybody has had like a bad reaction to something they ate, whatever, and spend a little time in the, But food poisoning, actual food poisoning, you guys have all had?
Oh yeah.
Wow.
It's
I-
violent.
Well,
I went to. I don't know directly with the evidence, but I ate sushi from a suspect little
Gas
grocery.
station?
But no, it wasn't a gas station, but it was a little suspect, and that hit me like you just feel it. Like,
Yeah, I
oh
had
gosh.
Yeah.
bad clams once, and I got really, really, really sick. And then the other time, I was working at a tennis place, and every year you'd have to transform and take down the bubble.
Oh yeah.
And
Is this Mid Cape?
no, this is in Weston, and so he would make us go like at dawn because he didn't want the condensation to get on the fabric because you're putting it away from the air and it had mildew, so it would have to be dry. So anyway, I drank some coffee, and you talk about curdling. I noticed the curdling, and I drank it anyway. And then I'm out in the heat, and like around noon, I was like, I gotta go home. I was literally in bed for 2 days.
Yeah.
I lost 10 pounds because everything in my body just left.
I should probably do that.
Yeah.
I mean, Fred seems
About
like the kind of
8
guy. Like,
times.
if you needed to go home, like that, it's legit.
Oh, yeah.
Like I don't imagine Fred would. You wouldn't be going home for
I
like a
was
little.
So
like,
I was literally hallucinating.
Yeah.
I was so sick.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, I was young when it happened, but we actually, my school nurse actually filed a report with the food agency that like
FDA.
Yeah, FDA, I think, and they shut down the restaurant and like investigated the restaurant for like a couple days.
Salmonella.
Damn.
Yeah, and all that thing. I was sick for like a week. Like I said, my dad ended up in the hospital because of complications with medication he was on. He probably should have stopped taking the medication when we got sick.
Yeah.
So it wasn't like directly because of the food poisoning, but
Well,
it was
here's
really
a tip
bad.
for everyone when you go to a restaurant and you're ordering meat. If you're ordering steak or prime rib, ordering medium rare, that's fine. But when you're ordering ground beef, because it's broken up and that membrane is broken, it's more apt to get bacteria. There's no problem with ordering ground beef. In fact, some restaurants won't serve it to you less than medium.
Yeah.
But if you medium well is fine. You don't lose any of the flavor. It's fine. I that's what I suggest is
Or grind your own meat. Grind your own.
Or ground beef when you're ordering in a restaurant, get it medium well.
Yeah.
And you don't have to worry about it.
I'm gonna go see Jake Brisket.
Oh,
while we're on the topic.
Jake Brisket.
Yeah.
But if you're going to like St. Elmo's, you're probably okay though. That place. Well, I guess you're getting a steak anyway, right?
Yeah, you're getting a steak, and then people order that rare. Fine, I don't care. But
Just let it rest.
Yeah,
for 10
but
minutes.
but ground beef is different.
Yeah.
Because it's ground up and things
Stuff.
can get into it.
Yeah.
That's when it's tough when you get like the lettuces and stuff that give you E. coli.
Yeah.
Like it's most often lettuce and
Yeah, there was a
produce
whole
where-
thing in Boston.
Remember the Chipotle? The
Yeah.
Chestnut Hill
right.
Chipotle?
Why I stay away from that
Jeez,
stuff.
Right.
Chestnut Hill Chipotle.
Yeah,
I
no,
will
that-
never
yeah.
forget
There
that.
are a lot of bacteria.
Wasn't that like, didn't the Patriots get a Chipotle thing? I remember like Jamie Collins. I felt like 2013,
Maybe.
2014,
I remember the
something like that.
BC hockey and basketball team
Yeah,
having
they had
to
a BC
forfeit
Chipotle
games
that
because they
was-
couldn't dress enough guys because they all had food poisoning from Chipotle.
Wow.
Yeah.
I've heard
it
a
was
lot of
nuts.
Red Lobster food poisoning too, which is
Oh,
probably not surprising.
I did oysters in Key West.
At Red Lobster?
No, just oysters in Key West. Like, I don't know if I'll ever do Gulf seafood
Red Lobster has no
again.
business calling
I've never
Does that
been
have like
there.
a routine going
I've never
at
been
Red
to
Lobster?
Red Lobster, but
Red Lobster has no business calling itself a seafood
No.
place. It's barely food.
My
well,
general,
I just read something that
Hope
they
they're not a
tried to
sponsor.
they tried to like reinvigorate the restaurant by doing a jumbo shrimp special, like all you can eat. It backfired. They lost like a bunch of money.
Well, it
the
looks really
shrimps
good.
Really in
are
trouble now.
The shrimp are shrimpy. Like they're barely shrimp. They're so small. It's just a waste. Don't go to Red Lobster.
I
We're
think
too spoiled up here.
my
Like, I would
rule
never.
of thumb is if you can't see the ocean, don't eat seafood unless it was Indy with St. Elmo's.
Fact.
Oh, yeah.
But I'm not going to get seafood in the middle of the country. Like,
No.
no.
Even from okay, so this is disgusting. I'm sorry in advance, but wild caught salmon from Costco, wild caught Alaskan salmon. My mom saw this video where you have to like brine.
Where else would you
seafood.
catch it, by the way? Why do they have to say that? It's wild.
farm?
Yeah.
The farmed.
Oh, they're farmed.
Farm
Okay.
salmon isn't good for you.
Gotcha.
And
All right.
their diet is really gross, and you get more I think,
Gotcha.
mercury poisoning.
I
But
guess, yep.
my mom had a piece of salmon that she let sit in salt water. I will never cook salmon ever again in my life without doing this because a worm or parasite, something like literally this long, came out of the piece of fish and was in the bowl. She sent me a video. It was disgusting. And then I went down the rabbit hole, and like most seafood that we're eating has straight up parasites in it.
Worms.
Oh yeah.
Worms,
Oh, there's no
Roxanne.
doubt.
Worms.
Yeah.
You ever see Roxanne, Paul? You ever see that one?
Roxanne? Steve Martin.
Yeah. Words, Roxanne.
I mean, there's some people that just won't eat seafood. I get it.
Yeah.
Like
It's like sea bugs.
Yeah.
No, bugs, really.
Yeah. Andrew in L.A., thanks for the schedule release. I had to watch the video multiple times to find a game close to me. There's no way. There was no other way to see the schedule otherwise, so I needed to keep pausing the video when Edelman slapped a napkin against the
There
glass.
was no other way to see it, but don't you have the internet?
Good news, I'll be at the Arizona game because I wanted to see this team win a game.
Hey,
P.S. Please pick up next year with the town-themed schedule release so you could pick up where you left off.
Maybe.
Yeah.
There you go.
But then what's the movie we end with?
Right.
Boondock Saints or something?
I don't know.
Or The Departed?
Fever Pitch.
Ooh.
Red Sox.
One of the worst movies ever.
It's up there.
You don't like Jimmy Fallon?
It's so bad it's good.
I do
though.
like Jimmy Fallon.
You know what kind
I
of
just didn't
bugged
like
you?
that
You know what
movie.
bugged me was that they like shot that when the Red Sox were actually
I
doing it, and it was
know.
like,
How
and they're
crazy
like
is
having a
that?
moment shooting a movie in the middle of it, and like we're trying to enjoy this. Drew Barrymore and Jimmy Fallon, you have to be making a movie right now. Can we just not have to do this? But I do.
I
like
remember
the
It
fact-
seeing
worked
it.
out for the movie.
I remember actually
Having them
seeing them
actually
live
win.
when
Oh, there you.
they're celebrating. You're like, was that?
What are they
And then
doing?
you found out about it later.
Yeah. I love the Fairleys though. That's
Matthew writes in wondering, with the Patriots going to Wembley, is that the NFL thinking Patriots are going to be competitive against a good Jags team, or are they thinking Patriots have a good base here and it doesn't matter if they stink or not? Just seems odd that they waited till after the draft. For what? Wait till
to announce it.
The schedule is after the draft.
Yeah.
That's when the schedule happens.
Yeah.
Well, you said, Fred. It sounded like the Jags.
There is a
maybe
good
wanted
base.
to.
Yeah,
And
they
there is
did
a
the
good
same
base.
thing
It
with
makes sense.
Buffalo last year. Like Jacksonville wants to play teams that have sort of,
Yeah.
I hate the term, but a brand.
Yeah.
And the Patriots still are a brand.
And we're close. This isn't like it's not an overwhelming travel scenario for. I mean, right? The
No,
Patriots
I-
are the closest to
And
London than
yeah,
anybody, right?
and I wouldn't be surprised if they agreed to it. Now, I don't know about the other stuff, like if they requested no bye after London
yeah.
or not, because I know that you generally get a bye after London unless
Yeah.
you request specifically not to have one,
Yeah.
Yeah.
which I think Tennessee has done in the past. I think Baltimore requested no bye after
Well,
a London trip too.
I think all our UK listeners might want to know, Fred, what's the plan? Are we going to send PU over there? Are we going to have a little?
Yeah.
we gonna have a little
From what I
show or
understand,
something?
it's going to be, in terms of travel, it's going to be just a normal road game. We're not going to go get out there early or,
Yeah,
you know.
no parties, no,
Yeah.
no.
Well, there might be. I mean,
German nightclubs.
I mean, it's up.
Whips,
You know, if the UK Patriots fans want to, do a party, I'll go.
yeah.
No, I mean, just
America's guest will be there, Fred
like, no,
Kirsch.
just like we do, Denver's had, San Diego.
No,
I'll go
Day.
cover it if you want to send me.
I still remember going to Seattle in 2012, and you guys had a party there, and I went, and I seen you, and I was like,
I was at that party.
I didn't see you, but I remember seeing Fred. I'm like, there's Fred.
You
know,
were
like-
there?
Yeah. I walked
Really?
over and walked in and didn't talk to anybody, and then walked out. I was like, all right,
Yeah.
you're right.
I believe that was a two. Did we stay out there? Was it the Raiders in Seattle or something? Some kind of combination West Coast trip, and that was the second leg, and I think I was at that Seattle game.
Ah.
That was the game
could
that
have been?
that was the game that Andy and I took They had those towels, that the Seahawks
I still have one. Yeah,
the 12s.
Yeah, the green ones. Yeah.
And so Andy and I go in the back of the press box. We're like, kids will like those. So we took them and put them in my bag. We put them in our bags. We turn around and Fred's looking. He goes, he's all mad because we're taking
the 12s. I still have one. It was
But that Seattle party,
yeah.
The place was packed.
It was.
And that bar left so much money on the table by not having enough staff.
Oh, yeah.
Like, it took you forever to get refills.
I think that's why I left.
They left so much money on the
Yeah,
table.
I believe
Yeah.
it. I believe it.
Yeah. Now that I'm thinking of it, it might have been 08.
Oh wait, I was there for that one too. I don't think I went to the party, but 08 and 12 I went to the two Seattle games, and it's awesome place to see a game. I'd love to go back there. At
12
some
might
point.
have been after I stopped traveling for good. I think
Yeah.
it might have been 08.
Yeah, with Castle and
Yeah.
they had like a fumble to
Yeah.
seal it. It wasn't the UMAD bro game. That was the 12 one.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
They won the game. The Patriots
Castle
won the
won
game
it.
that
I
was at,
said it
so
before.
It was definitely
like,
08.
Yeah, Castle. I mean, the Patriots had Castle. The Seattle Seahawks were like sub 500. They weren't going anywhere, and the fans still were just like, "It starts in the huddle," and they're screaming and screaming. I couldn't believe it. I was so impressed.
That was
with
a good
fan
game.
Base. Yeah, it was.
That was a good game
It
that
was. I
day.
think it was like Merriweather forced a fumble. I think to seal it. They were kind of driving to maybe
Deion
to
Branch
maybe
had a
win
big
or
game
something.
for Seattle in that
Yeah,
game.
right.
Fabio in Germany. I'm usually a pretty optimistic person. Before last season, for example, I thought they could be a 10-win team if some things fell their way. But I have to say, after looking at the schedule today, I'm having a hard time seeing more than 3 or 4 wins next year. I know anything can happen, but assuming Mayo doesn't have a Stroud-like year, or May doesn't have a Stroud-like year, the Cards, Colts, Bears, and Titans are all coin flips at best, and maybe you get one more win because the NFL is the NFL. This could be another rough one. I don't want win-loss projections from you, but that's annoying. But do you feel the same way, or what are your general feelings right now?
No, I don't, and because I don't allow myself to try to think about those things, because this is a new Patriots team, and I have no idea what this team is. And you might be right; they might be a 3-win team, they might be a whatever
Right.
win. I don't know, but I can't just sit there and bemoan that they're going to be bad again, and this is going to be this is a whole new team, a new energy. I don't know. Maybe they are, but maybe as we've been talking about, they play better down the stretch, and all of a sudden, like, oh, the Chargers, they got to win this one in New England to make the playoffs, and bam, they knock them off. Or Buffalo, oh, they need this one to secure home field, and they knock them off to finish the year. So it's like, I get it. I understand that's what everybody wants to do, project, what the record is going to be. But for me right now, I want to get to, like, training camp, and I want to see what is even going to happen. Maybe it's worse. I don't know. But to try to, like, make that leap in my head, it's not fun. What's fun is going to be seeing this team develop into whatever they develop.
I mean, if you had to put money on it, you'd put it on the lower side instead of making.
I'd go under 6.5. Yeah. I'd go under 6.5. Yeah.
He said he didn't want you to do the.
Well, I did it anyway.
You just yelled at him because it's just ridiculous. It's like he said, I don't need that because I think that's.
I was trying to bring the thunder a little bit. We talked about food safety, and I did like
the thunder. I did like the thunder.
No, there's just too many unknowns, especially on offense.
Yeah.
To be able to say they're going to do X.
Yeah. Well, that was like Martin. Martin came up to me upstairs and he was like, "So, what do you think about the matchup against the Colts?" I'm like, "What?" I'm like, "What week is it?" He's like, "Week 13." I'm like, "Martin, I gotta be honest. I have no idea."
Why did he ask you that?
I don't know.
Oh,
the
Colts.
You just get a question.
Maybe he's doing an analysis.
He might be doing an analysis. He wanted a little.
But what, like, I could see if he's just like, "What do you think?" What do you think?
I wasn't sure. I didn't know how to answer it. I'm like, I wish I could come up with something, but like. What's Anthony Richardson look like? Does he come back? Is he healthy? Who's the Patriots quarterback? What guys have emerged? Does anybody emerge? Is the defense, good?
I've seen 4.5 and 5.5 for the over/under.
Yeah,
I mean,
I might go over.
They're generally pretty close.
Yeah, I just think if it were to be 5 or 6 wins, I would want a few of them to come at the end.
Ordered food.
No, that's okay.
It's not okay.
Oh, jeez, Danny.
Breaking news.
Maybe for you.
The Patriots and starting center David Andrews have agreed to an extension through 2025 per source. Under the new deal, Andrews is due a base value of $12 million over the next 2 seasons, with a maximum value of $13 million and $8 million fully guaranteed.
So much for this being his last year, if possibly.
Yeah, this feels like a little shuffling things around a little bit. Give him a little.
Sounds
of
like
this
bookkeeping.
now.
Okay.
And
I don't have those.
The numbers.
The specifics.
All right.
I mean, Alex just read the numbers, but I don't know.
Well, you didn't see. You need the Miguel breakdown.
Right.
You need it all.
Probably afford to buy a little Bud Light. It's easy to drink, easy to enjoy. Bud Light, the official beer sponsor of the New England Patriots. And you know what? If you haven't been getting any sleep and you're desperate, for a good night's sleep, spring into better rest with whole sleep solutions from Bob's Discount Furniture. Choose from tons of Bob-O-Pedic mattresses, feature-packed adjustable bases, and plenty of stylish bedroom sets, or snag them all for your ultimate sleep setup. So stop by and sleep better with Bob's Discount Furniture, the official furniture store of the New England Patriots. A lot of alliteration.
Just real quick, in Matt Morrell's defense, there is a Post-it pad right next to you that has
food
written on it.
And I didn't even.
He pushed
all
it
right,
to the
we're going to take a break. Paul.
There's food isn't even here.
No food, but we're going to take a break anyway. If you want to see Toyota's best offers and have a first look at that, including those not seen on TV, go to buyatoyota.com. It's Toyota's official website for deals from the official vehicle of the New England Patriots. Toyota, let's go to the DraftKings commercial. Whether you're in the game or betting on the game, you'll need a game plan. DraftKings Sportsbook, the official sports betting partner of the New England Patriots, provides you with everything you need to build your personal betting game plan so you can get in on all the action while practicing safe bets. Visit DraftKings.com/responsible-gaming to learn more about all the safe betting tools DraftKings has to offer. Hope is here, 800-327-5050 or gamblinghelplinema.org. Must be 21 plus. Play it smart from the start. GameSenseMA.com. Physically present in Massachusetts. See DraftKings.com/responsible-gaming for details and state-specific responsible gambling resources.
Isn't it time to get exactly what you want? Welcome to Red Hot Deal Days from Verizon, where you get your pick of our best deals. Like My Plan, where you can pick the perks you want and save on every one. For limited time, bring your own phones to a Verizon store and you can get My Plan for our best price ever. Get exactly what you want in your phone plan and only pay for what you need. Bring your phones to your Verizon store today and get My Plan. These deals won't last. It's your Verizon.
We are here on video for the first time. Patriots halftime show. Matisse Bauman here with Chris Cassidy. We got a fun one today for the first time on video, I guess. So let's start off with some trivia. It's going to be based off the topic, all right? We're talking Madden. All right, so question one. Who was the first player in Madden to have a 100 overall speed rating? All right.
Wow.
100 overall speed rating.
Can I give an answer?
No, he can't give an answer. Number 2, question two. Who was the Patriots' first player to be on the cover of Madden? All right.
I actually have no idea.
Oh, come on. That's money, bro.
Is it?
And question 3, what was the first year the Madden video game came out? All right. Definitely don't know that one.
No, I do.
Okay. Well, let the fans answer. Send your answers into webradio@patriots.com. And Chris, let's just start off with I love Madden. I don't know if you love Madden.
Well, I'm really bad at Madden, but I like it. I like it a lot. Yeah.
So let's start with this. You might show off your age a little here. What was the first Madden you started playing?
Whoa. My first ever Madden was probably Madden 06 or 08, one of those two.
Okay.
It wasn't 07.
All right. It wasn't 07.
It wasn't.
What were you playing on?
PS2.
PS2. All right.
Yep.
You want to guess what mine was?
Was it 84?
Jesus.
Oh man.
Come on, Chris.
I'm joking.
The first one I played was Madden 03.
Okay.
Marshall Faulk on the cover. I played on PC. All right. And fun
You
fact.
played on PC. You were a PC Madden guy?
My mom.
In 03?
My mom didn't let me have an Xbox or a PlayStation.
That's crazy.
But also, this is, what's funny? When John Madden created this, he created it for the idea of people like me. I taught myself how to play football from Madden.
So were you one of those Game Boy like blitz football people? Like, did you play on the Game Boy?
Like when I was older, yeah. My mom didn't let me like the old blitz, like on the arcade game.
No, like the Game Boy. Like,
Yeah, I played when I was a little older. Like yeah.
How old were you when you were playing with the Game Boy?
I don't know. I still play with the Game Boy, bro.
Oh,
no, but so Chris, what are your thoughts in the game? Because unfortunately, it's gone downhill the past couple of years.
There's been a little bit of a decline in Madden, but at the same time, I think, I mean, the way games are going anyways, they're just dumbing them down in general.
Yeah.
So Madden, in my opinion, unfortunately, is just taking a little bit too much out of it when there was a lot more that you could do in past ones.
Yep.
And also, even though they dumbed it down, it's still a little complicated to navigate. But yeah,
it's crazy because, all right, so first of all, a little backstory here. There used to be ESPN 2K, and then the NFL took the rights to it.
2K was NHL as well.
Yeah, so just so you know, another little trivia question. Who was on the cover of NFL 2K5? Yeah, no shot. Yeah. You know that one, bud. No, but so then also, I don't know if you know this, the NFL regulates certain things that are allowed to be in the game.
Mm-hmm.
So back in the day, you used to be able to pop people's helmets off. Can't do that anymore. The concussion injury thing, that's got a bit muddied, obviously. And so I think just like, it's a video game. Like, yeah, it's a simulation, but you just got to be able to do certain things. Like you used to be able to customize your own stadium, customize your player, like do all this
that was
stuff.
the best part.
Like they took away challenging the plays in some of them. So,
right.
But
I think the customization aspect of it was a huge. Like I would sit there and customize the stadium for maybe 2 hours. Also, my brain was trying to function. It felt long, but 2 hours of customizing a stadium was just as enjoyable as playing a full season.
So I used to play Madden 05, which is hands down the best Madden. There's no questions asked.
I thought Madden 09 was my favorite Madden.
No, 05, bro. They brought in the hit stick. Right. Ray Lewis on the cover. You had the 04 rookie QB class as rookies. You could just play forever. I would play all the way to 2024 because you were used to be able to do that, and now it's just like you can't. I remember I played on the Xbox, and next thing I know, I got like relocated, and they wouldn't let me play anymore. Or like I did as a coach, and they forced me to retire.
You weren't good enough.
Oh, bro, what are you talking about?
You weren't good enough.
6 Super Bowls.
So, all right, what's your worst Madden story, actually?
No, you go first.
No, you go first, because I think mine's just going to be better than yours.
I was playing my friend, and I used to do a franchise, and I'd like play all the way, and then my friend came over for a sleepover, and I was like, all right, I'll play as the Pats, and then you just play as the opposition. He's like, all right, and I worked my ass off to get all the way to the AFC final, and he beat me and ruined my whole season, and it was awful. It was tough. I almost shut the Xbox off. I didn't, though. I'm not one of those people.
So my cousin Will and I, when we were younger, we would play each other in every video game, and we were like, all right, like, let's just play each other in Madden. We played so many games, and the record was not even close. I was always worse than him in Madden. The worst game that we ever played, I forget what the teams were, but I was defeated 88-14, and I scored at the last second on like a ridiculous play. But 88-14, and he still hasn't let me live it down.
And that's tough. You just said that on video.
Yeah, I did. Now we're on video, and now people know I stink at Madden.
All right, Chris. So we got another one coming up this fall, which I'm also curious to wonder what they call it because it's going to be Madden 25.
But they
Madden,
already
they already did a Madden 25.
With RG3.
Yeah. No.
Yeah.
It wasn't RG3.
Oh, no.
It was Richard
Yes, it was.
Was it Richard Sherman?
No, it was RG3.
It was not RG3.
RG3 was on the cover of Madden 25.
That's just not true. There's no way.
Look it up
You
real
look
quick.
it up. You look it up real quick. I'll get to the rest of this.
Oh my gosh.
But also big news in the video game world. It's the return of ESPN, or not ESPN, EA Sports College Football.
Oh, it's going to be amazing.
So listen, EA Sports put a lot into this, and that is going to be the game of the summer. And I'm going to spend countless hours playing that, and hopefully Madden bounces off that. All right, let's see what you got. Just Google this real quick.
Barry Sanders. Hold on a minute.
So you're just
but there was a couple editions, I think.
No. You said Barry Sanders. You said RG3. There's just
But I think
RG3 was on the cover of NCAA.
NCAA 25.
No, there was no NCAA 25.
Yes, there was.
Oh my God.
Am I wrong?
Yeah, you are wrong. You're very wrong. All right, guys, thank you for joining this video portion of the PU Halftime Show. As always, send your answers into webradio@patriots.com. And I wonder if anybody gets the special extra trivia question I put halfway through. But let's get back to Patriots Unfiltered.
Sounds good.
Someone accidentally threw away the school play costumes.
Oh no.
Replacements were shipped with FedEx. And with picture proof of delivery, everyone could focus on the perfect opening night. FedEx, where now meets next. For residential delivery only.
And now, great moments in history.
The feeling that we had when Tom left versus the feeling that we have, or versus, is it versus?
Versus.
Yeah. Versus.
Unless you're a kid. It's
Yeah.
verse. Who you versing?
Yeah. Versus the feeling we have now with Bill leaving.
Yeah.
And I would say with Tom leaving, we were much more sensitive about, did he say goodbye?
Yeah.
Did he say he loves us?
Yeah.
And with Bill, not so much of that.
Yeah.
You know?
I would say,
because he never gave us that anyway.
Yeah,
you know?
it's a
He
great.
did get choked up when he talked about the fans.
No, I know he did, but I'm just talking about fans like, oh, is he gonna say goodbye to us? Is he gonna do this?
But that's my point. Is
Yeah.
Bill did do that.
Yeah.
That's the part that he got emotional on.
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel a lot different about this one. Like I'm kind of like Evan was. Like just the sight of Brady in a Tampa uniform. It just
right.
Oh, it
Will
just
you have the
made me
same
feel-
feeling if you see
No,
Bill
I
in
don't think
Atlanta?
I will. I don't think I will.
I don't think so either.
So what was worse for you, seeing Brady in the Tampa
You all
uniform,
right there?
or seeing him in a Patriots uniform? Which one bothered you
Because
more?
he hates him anyway. Yeah.
Good
Paul.
Did I ruin it by having my Peter Brady
A little
moment?
bit distracted. Yeah. You walked on your own joke.
That's another great moment from
All right, back here on Patriots Unfiltered, 855-PATS-500 is the Ace Ticket Hotline. Webradio@patriots.com is the email address. A little trivia. You ready?
I'm ready.
Who was the first player to have 100 overall speed in Madden? I don't even know what that means.
Well, they have rankings.
Yeah. So he runs 100 miles an hour?
No, you get
Deshaun Jackson.
a ranking. Oh, that's a good guess.
Incorrect.
Oh, not a good guess. No, that's a good guess. Tyreek Hill.
Incorrect.
That was my guess.
The answer is Devin Hester.
Oh.
First person.
Devin Hester is ridiculous.
Who was the first Patriots player to be on the cover of Madden?
Sounds like a trick question.
Brady?
Incorrect.
Gronk.
Madden 17.
Did not get that
Oh,
correct.
and
I would
didn't
have.
you
I would
get
have
hurt
guessed
after
Brady.
that, and we talked about the Madden curse,
you're
maybe.
right.
Maybe.
Trying to make you think Brady.
And who was the first? What was the first year Madden came out?
1994.
No.
97.
No.
89.
Close. 88.
88.
Wow.
Really?
Yeah.
You guys had video games back then?
Hey, you shut up.
She's very mean to me.
You
I'd
ever
like to
played
have
Legend
you know
of
that
Zelda?
the company Nintendo was around during the Civil War.
That's crazy. They didn't make video
Was
games
it?
back then, though.
It really was. It was invented shortly after the Civil War in Japan, Nintendo.
What did they do?
The Japanese Civil War or our Civil
I
War?
couldn't tell you off the top of my head. It was one of those fun facts about life and time periods that I read.
Any other interesting
the first
factoids
game
there,
was.
Cliff Clavin?
He's been reading that fun facts book.
Interesting
little
to
known
note.
fact, Nintendo.
Shortly after the Civil War.
But I wonder what they were producing back then. You know, probably weapons.
Weapons.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah. Anyway, all right. 855-PASS-500. Let's get to the phones. Nelson's been patiently standing by. What's up, Nelson?
Hey, how we doing today?
Okay.
Produced handmade playing cards in 1889.
Handmade playing cards.
There it
okay.
is.
Hey, man.
Hey,
I
Nelson.
like the way I did that video this last night.
Thank you.
A good video. I loved it.
Thank you.
Thanks.
And by the way, how is it that this one has a bunch of stories, but he never cut a lawn?
Come again?
How is it that you got a bunch of stories to tell, but you never cut the lawn?
We have a bunch of stories, but Evan never cut the lawn.
What's his name?
Evan.
Evan. There you go.
He's never cut a lawn. I don't know. He's not a man.
Never, not once.
He's not a man. He's less than a man.
Thank you. You said it. You said it yourself.
Hand over your man card.
No,
He's spoiled.
I said it right to his face.
Where'd he grow up again?
He's half a man.
It's a job for the gardener.
Yeah. Yep.
Hey, but I love y'all radio.
Yeah.
You know, I always hear y'all. Let's go Patriots all the way. I'm not going to be able to watch no games this year, but I'm going for y'all.
Okay. Thanks, Nelson.
Seemed like a deeper conversation.
Yeah, there's something to that. I didn't want to get
he's
into
unavailable.
what happened to his TV, but you know,
Or maybe he's just
going
not
to war.
Maybe he's just not available at 1 o'clock.
Not available. I mean, it's 10 a.m. out there, so you'd think like maybe he's not a morning
he
person.
could be calling from a place that doesn't have TVs.
Nah.
Brett's in
LA.
Reno. What's up, Brett? Brett's in Reno. Brett. Okay, Brett is off the phone.
I'll say on the mow lawn thing, like when my parents used to make me do it as a kid, I hated it. But now, like with your own house and you're trying to like make it nice, like I cherish
Yeah,
those. Like,
you take pride
I got
in it.
lines in it, you know.
Yeah.
Like there's nothing better than Saturday morning, get up, get the groceries done, and then
Look at
Character building.
if I can, whether it's mowing the lawn.
Oh,
or,
here he is now.
whether it's mowing the lawn or painting or whatever, if I can do it myself, first of all, save money.
Oh yeah.
But also like
satisfaction.
I'm taking care of my business.
Yeah. Men used to be men.
Yeah. I'm in a battle with knotweed, Japanese knotweed. That's my World War II right now. I just like this stuff be popping up everywhere, and it's everywhere.
Yeah, I have poison ivy.
Stuff be popping up.
Poison ivy I can't get rid of in my
I'm going to
courtyard.
defend myself with the whole mowing the lawn
You
thing.
can't. You can't.
You can't.
Take it up with my dad. I don't know. I was a child. I was supposed
Mr.
to tell
Lazar, please
you know
call
what,
in.
I was a child. I was in love.
Actually, Dad, as a 10-year-old, I'm gonna mow the lawn myself. Don't hire the guy to mow the lawn.
So
like, what am I supposed
Well, you
to do
weren't
about it?
always 10.
So when I was
Did your mom
older,
clean your room?
So like on a random
no.
Father's Day, you didn't say, "Hey, Dad, let me mow the lawn for you."
Want to have a catch?
No, you're not
didn't make him a
understanding.
coupon book?
We didn't mow our own lawn. So was I supposed to say to my dad, "Hey, you're doing it wrong"?
See, this is what I said.
At 11 years old, and be like, "Hey, Dad, stop paying somebody to do it. I'll do it for you."
Yeah, pay me.
Yeah, they said to turn in your man
No,
card. I said,
seriously.
no, he's just spoiled.
Like what about saying, "Hey, how about you pay me to mow the lawn?"
Yeah, you didn't have any hustle? You didn't want money?
I have shoveled
He already got an
enough,
allowance.
enough snow in my life. I did not get an allowance.
Okay.
I've already shoveled enough snow in my life, and I raked leaves, and I did all the other things. I'm sorry, I didn't mow a lawn.
Okay.
All right, I'm sorry.
Raking leaves is not as satisfying to me.
No, raking leaves is to me it was
That
harder.
sucks.
It was harder.
It's way harder.
Yeah.
And then your kids jump in the pile and mess it all up on you.
Yeah, I got
Like
one
I
of those,
used to do.
those blowers now, and you just like you're for like 3 hours.
Well, I bought back at about 20 years ago. I bought the Sears Craftsman 5-in-1 leaf vacuum.
It mows, it blows.
You literally,
Of course you
and
do.
it sucks.
You literally vacuum up the leaves and mulches it, so you get about 5 bags worth of leaves in one bag.
Quality.
See, some of us just
and
use
it's
a
mulched
rake.
for you.
And it mulched.
You can
Men
use
used
that
to
for
be
good
like a man.
compost.
Men used
Yeah.
to be men.
Yeah.
Used rakes.
Fred's got like a mech that he
Men
gets.
used to
Oh,
build
that was a
houses.
great tool.
Still
Gotta
work
take
or
yard
no?
size into
No,
account.
I when I moved, I didn't take it with me.
No,
Yeah.
no, it's a good one. No, it's rewarding. It's fun. It just stinks when it gets hot, and then or you get poison ivy, and
Yeah.
there are some dangers to this. But
Oh, sure. Running over a snake, you ever do that?
my dad did.
Yeah.
Frogs.
How about a
too.
bunny?
Yeah, frogs.
Well, I didn't do it personally, but I've heard this. Yeah,
Oh.
very
They
sad.
cry. They cry.
Oh.
Bunnies
Well,
do.
if the bunny had
Silence of the Lambs.
Yeah.
Last time I
Hello,
share
Clyde.
anything
never
about
run
my
over
childhood.
Blueberries.
Never run over nothing.
No.
Got some snakes sometimes. There was a frog last week when I was running. I was like, "Come on, buddy, get out of there!" But he didn't. So that was it for him.
Oh.
Natural selection.
So the Dussaults had frog legs that night.
It's very small. Very small.
Pat
meal.
Nagawam, good afternoon, everyone. Wanted to get the roundtable's opinion on Christian Gonzalez's second-year projection. with the caveat that he plays the full season. If he's going to make the second-year jump, he's definitely going to earn it. Looking at the schedule, the two teams that may have the weakest receiving core are Buffalo and the Chargers, ironically. There's some real proven NFL studs and highly touted rookies he's most likely going to have to match up with.
Yeah, welcome.
That's
welcome.
the league.
Welcome to the league, my friend. No, it's I'm really hoping he's got a full season in him. He just kind of exudes confidence. I guess that's just because he's hyper athletic and he's going to be comfortable in any kind of athletic situation. But I'm just hopeful for him for a full season. Same with a lot of these guys that you're just really hoping that they can develop into star players. And if he does become that guy, they're going to be lining up. I mean, Jamar Chase, week 1. Garrett Wilson.
It was the same thing out of the gate last year, though. Until he got hurt, he was nails against all of them.
Yeah.
A.J. Brown, CeeDee Lamb, Garrett Wilson. His thing is injuries. Like if he stays healthy and he'll be great.
Yeah, it's just going to be it's set up to be like sometime with these guys, especially. I mean, we've seen it too with certain players that we can go in. I mean, even N'Keal Harry one, but like guys that are injured early in their career and then they get injured the first year. Tyquan Thornton, we talked about him earlier.
They never
first
get
year,
it out, yeah.
The second year, and then you're like, oh no, like this guy had some promise, but Malcolm Mitchell a little bit too. Like those guys that just can't ever cross that line. And then there's other players who just seem to stay healthy. Who just for whatever reason just seem to avoid it. I know we've talked about this in the past. I'm not a big injury prone guy, but there are some guys that just for whatever reason. They
just
can't
get over
healthy.
that.
Yeah.
I know.
And
it's frustrating.
Sometimes it kills their whole career, and that's one of the great unknowns and unfortunate parts of football.
James Pettigrew, the most interesting Patriots fan in the world, says, I love Evan's defense of his manhood is ask my daddy.
We're going to move on from this one. Okay.
My daddy got food poisoning, and I didn't want to mow the lawn.
Hey, me not mowing the lawn is a challenge of my manhood. And all right, you guys all win.
We all remember when Alex made fun of him for not being able to walk a Great Dane.
Yeah.
Yes. Oh, that was better. That was better.
Let's see. Christoph, who is this? Christopher from Denmark. Love the off-season topics, both the football talk and everything else. And I was thinking about a fun discussion for you guys. It got me thinking about the podcast Chasing Scratch, where they have an ongoing dispute about who would win in a fight to the death between a great white shark and a polar bear in a 6-foot deep pool. Who would you choose?
Wow.
Great white shark.
Oh, no, the polar bear.
Polar bear.
Great white shark.
Polar bear.
Great white shark wouldn't have enough water to really get up to speed. Polar bear's got those claws. Before the great white shark even got to him, he'd be swiping at him.
And don't you feel like
polar
bears have some intelligence to them too? And a great white shark is just kind
of
all
they can navigate
instinct
in the water.
The only thing the shark could do is bite.
Right.
Whereas the bear could
bite and
pound
claw,
you. Yeah.
One swipe, that shark is done.
And maneuver you.
Yeah.
You know?
I'm going shark.
They even say if
the Jaws guys didn't
probably
even go. This is why you got to watch Jaws, Evan. You have no frame of reference
probably
on great white
easier
sharks.
said than done, but
Jaws.
they say if you hit the
Punch
shark
him
on
in
the
the
nose,
face,
on the nose, it's very sensitive there, and that'll turn them around.
I just think that Jaws is bad.
Ain't you
I've seen
watching?
it, but
It was supposed to be. It doesn't hold up. But by the way, when I was sitting with Greg Capello during, or Mark Capello, why do I call him Greg? During practice, and he was looking at you, and he looked at me, and he goes, "It doesn't hold up."
It doesn't. I don't know what you want me to say.
You wronged Capello. He will never let you live
so
it
mad
down.
at you.
It doesn't hold up.
It doesn't hold up.
Exactly. There was no preface or anything. It was just like him looking at Evan, glaring through his binoculars. He looks at me. He's like, "It doesn't hold up."
Jackson in West Virginia. I think you said you're saving the conspiracy talk for Paul's lunch, but I've got to hear your thoughts on Helen Keller. In my opinion, there's no way the story's real. I'm not saying that she's not a real person, but she couldn't be blind and deaf her whole life and somehow give speeches and even fly a plane. Similarly, have you all seen the video of Stevie Wonder catching a falling mic stand? A lot of fishy stuff going on here.
All right. Well, I'm not going to go.
Helen Keller is a CIA plant.
I don't know enough about Helen Keller.
I don't either. This is a new
She
one.
flew a
I've never
plane?
heard.
She flew a plane?
Yeah,
I wasn't aware of Helen Keller.
He's
I
probably
wasn't
mixing
either.
her up with Amelia
Amelia
Earhart.
I can see how you'd make that.
Joke's on us. if she
Very
really
different
flew a
people.
plane, though, but
Yeah.
Women from the 1900s.
I never heard that
I don't
one.
know.
That one's new to me.
I
And
don't
I
know,
thought,
why is that
I
like
thought
I'm not
racist?
touching that.
I don't know. Because it's a throwback to like when you're in elementary school and there were a lot of jokes about Helen Keller. Like remember, like there was like knock knock jokes, stuff like that. She was always a punchline. But I never really. Is there a Helen Keller movie? It feels like there should be a Helen Keller movie. Right?
Yeah. No, she was a. I
what
think,
would the visual be like?
I don't think it's a conspiracy.
No, that's we didn't
I've
get
never
that one.
heard of that
I was
one.
waiting for Evan to be like, he's absolutely right.
Yeah.
No.
CIA
There's a
plant,
website.
Helen
I
Keller.
draw the line.
HelenKellerIsNotReal.com.
Helen Keller.
Somebody's gonna now tweet and be like, really low blow, guys, about making fun of Helen Keller, right? I mean, jeez.
She has a family who's been dead for a long time.
Oh, she's great. She's
Kenny
good
Keller.
people.
What if
Shoot.
What if Kenny's a descendant?
Yeah.
Or as Deuce says, his ancestor.
Yeah.
He's doing his ancestry. He finds out his mom is Helen Keller. No.
Bart in Poland, in a vacuum, starting May, maybe a bit later, is probably the best option. But selfishly, if by chance I get a ticket to the London game and it's the last game that May doesn't start, I might cry a bit.
Oh.
I don't
Okay,
see.
Bart. Don't do that, Bart.
I don't see him starting after the bye and how late it is. So just play the kid when he's ready, and hopefully that's before week 8. Week 5 doesn't look bad. Also, as a fan from Poland, love the lack of primetime games. 7 p.m. start, local time for most games for me.
Ideal.
Great job, guys, on the release video. A consensus top 5 video.
Thank you.
There you go.
Okay.
I would think, though, I mean, to me, it seemed like when we were in Germany that, like, the Patriots fans there were just so excited that the Patriots were there that, like, even last year, it's like, yeah, they're not going to score a touchdown, but, like, we're here. You know, like, they were excited about it.
I don't think they went into the game saying they weren't going to score a touchdown.
That was bad. That was bad. You
Speaking
know what?
of,
Actually,
quarterbacks, though.
Oh, yeah, let's hear about
Jacoby. Took to Jacoby Brissett. I think he's already getting a little bit tired of the mentor questions. You know, that was one of the first questions I was asked. And he said that he feels like every older player is a mentor to every younger player, whether it's him or Drake May or whoever on the team, that's sort of the dynamic that as a teammate you try to take on. And he said that, you know, everybody in that room is trying to compete for the job, and that's the best thing for everybody. He did mention that Drake May has been talking to him, texting him, you know, just looking for pointers, you know, what cadence, play calls, you know, different types of things like that. So
Not Joe Milton? Joe Milton's not texting him?
he didn't say Joe.
Okay.
Nope,
All right.
didn't say Joe. But, you know, he did say that Drake May has been using him as a resource. I guess they played golf together last off season, I think he said. Or no, earlier this off season, but before he got drafted by the Patriots.
Really?
With Sam Howell.
Oh, okay.
So Sam Howell, obviously in Washington with Jacoby Brissett, and is one of Drake May's best friends from UNC. So they had previously met.
That's cool.
Then.
And the news about the Andrews thing broke too while you guys were talking to him?
Yeah, and he said, you know, David Andrews is one of 3 guys that was here the first time. It's David Andrews, Dietrich Wise, and Jonathan Jones that were here the first time with Jacoby Brissett. So he said that, you know, obviously nothing but good things to say
That's crazy.
about DA.
Yep.
It's crazy how quick things turn over. I mean, that's
Yeah.
this league. It's like,
I just don't feel like, you know, he's not going to. I remember with Brian Hoyer in 2021 that Brian Hoyer came out and said, I know why I'm here. Like, I know that I'm here to mentor Mac Jones, and I'm here to help Mac Jones and be a resource to him no matter how I can. Not saying it's bad, but that's not the vibe that I get from Jacoby. Like, Jacoby's,
I kind of like that, though.
Yeah.
I kind of like it because just like I said earlier when they asked us about, you know, not to predict the schedule, like we need something. We need a spark. Like, and I just want to watch good football again.
Yeah.
I want to watch an offense that can move the ball. And, like, you know, I mean, do you think people are going to be upset if Jacoby Brissett plays well? Like, you know, will people like, gosh, he's playing too good. I want to see Drake May. Like, I don't know. I'd just be happy to watch.
In order for him to play
execute.
well, that means the supporting cast is probably doing things. You know, he's got to throw it to somebody. And so that's great.
Yeah.
So that means when Drake May's ready, he's going into a team that might be able to support him.
I probably should research this, but like, how many times has Jacoby Brissett walked into a team like with this situation where the starting job was kind of his, at least out of the gate? Like, I don't know if he's ever had that situation, really, right? Everywhere he's kind of gone, there's been a quarterback. I mean, I need to research this. I don't know off the top of my head. I know he's been multiple places, and he's had opportunities, but it seems like every time it was just because the actual starter got hurt. So, maybe Jacoby Brissett is saying, look, I've been in this league. I feel like I'm a starter. And Drake May's out here, but like I'm going to do everything I possibly
can
Geno
Smith thing.
to play well.
Yeah.
And he's in such a different place in his career than Hoyer was when he was kind of embracing that mentor role. So it's hard to even compare it. It's unfair.
He's definitely a better player than Hoyer was.
Yeah.
Like even just regardless of age or anything like that. Like Jacoby Brissett's definitely a better quarterback in the NFL than Brian Hoyer was.
You think so?
Yeah, definitely.
I don't know. Hoyer had a pretty hot
They both had some good games for the Browns.
I think they're very similar. I agree with you, Fred.
I'm
not ready to pound the table and tell you Hoyer's better. I just kind of
think in 2022,
both very similar
I think
to me.
Jacoby's 2022 with Cleveland's better than anything I've seen Hoyer do in the NFL.
Okay.
It's like Hoyer's 2013 with Cleveland. That was his like.
Yeah, and
he
that
had
was
a good little stretch there.
a couple games, like maybe half
he
the
got
season.
hurt. He started to actually do well, and then he
got like 10-6 in Cleveland one year.
Yeah. No, he had a good, and then tore his ACL, and then got set back again.
Cole in Denver. Unfortunately, the team has chosen not to do everything possible to support May as the Week 1 starter. Look at what Chicago has done to support their rookie quarterback with premium player acquisitions and organizational commitment. Must be nice. With that being said, I really hope they start May Week 4 against the Dolphins at home. 2 of the next 3 games are at
in
home,
San Francisco.
and the away game is on a neutral field in London.
It's in Week 4 San Francisco.
I don't have the schedule in front of me.
I have it memorized.
Deuced?
I do, yeah.
That's ironic.
Yeah.
Maybe you should print them out.
Yeah, no, I have it. I have it pretty good down to memory already. Somehow.
I trust Evan.
Yeah, San Francisco.
Yes.
Week 4 is San Francisco. So
yeah. Week 5
so
is
much
Miami.
for Cole's email. But anyway, he says, I could be convinced that the September games are tough, featuring opponents like San Francisco and Cincinnati, but I'll be disappointed if I don't see May start against Miami. I don't want to watch Jacoby Brissett in October.
Good tone. Good tone.
So
strong.
I don't know. I think people still have an incredible amount of disrespect for the teams in the AFC East, like Patriots fans. Like, I understand the tough teams like San Francisco and Cincinnati, but he should be playing against Miami. Miami's a playoff team.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Would they win 11 games?
Yeah, I mean that's why
Miami's a good team.
That's why I think their schedule is so hard, to be honest, is that they have 6
The
games
division
against
games,
3 teams that have not just playoff aspirations, but probably Super Bowl aspirations, and the Bills and the Dolphins and the Jets. Like it's not a bad division anymore.
The other division that they play in the AFC is the worst of the 4 divisions, though, the South, right?
Yep.
They play the AFC South.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, I mean, it's not easy. What makes your schedule tough is you.
Right.
Like when the Patriots were rolling, this would be just a schedule.
Right.
You know?
Right.
Now, like Evan says, the other teams in the AFC East, you have 6 games that you used to be vastly superior than your opponent. Now you're inferior to all 3 of them on paper. Let's see, Mike, I don't want you to get mad at me. We'll see what happens.
You going to tell me a record or something?
Nope.
Don't. Thank
Nope.
you. It's good. Smart.
Kendall's in the UK. On Catch 22, Evan said that one of the benefits of the AVP scheme is that it's offensive line friendly scheme due to all the misdirections, etc., and therefore the left tackle won't be exposed that much to one-on-one pass rush.
It's true.
With that in mind, has anyone analyzed how the left tackles for the Browns got on last year?
No.
I mean, I'm not really sure analyzed what it means by that, but yeah, I talked about this with Alex because I understand where Alex is coming from, and I'm sure most people probably agree with him that left tackle is a major glaring
question mark
weakness, whatever you want to call it, on the roster. And all I said is I just wasn't too as concerned as other people are about it for 2 reasons. One, I think schematically they're not going to be this come right at you football team anymore, where everything is going to be, when they drop back to pass, it's all going to be one-on-one pass rush on the outside, and guys are going to be asked to hold up 25 times a game. I don't think they're going to play like that anymore. The other reason is something that I feel like, Paul, you've talked about. The quarterback matters. Like, we all are just assuming, because of the quarterback play under pressure we've seen from Mac Jones over the last 2 years, that every single quarterback is going to turn into a puddle at the first sign of pressure.
Right.
And the hope is that Drake May isn't that way. He's not going to be Brady. He's not going to win with the quick release, but he's athletic and he's a big dude and he can move around and he can extend plays with his legs and he can get outside the pocket and he can elude pressure and he can absorb pressure. So he's not, the hope is that he is going to help mitigate some of the concern. Now, if I had to point at the roster and say, what's the biggest hole on the team right now? It's left tackle. It's still left tackle, but I'm not ready to sit here and say they can't play Drake
it's a
May.
critical flaw that
they can't play.
Yeah, I'm with Evan on the last part there. In Cleveland had a lot of injuries on their offensive line too last year, and I think they were dealing with a higher level of talent to start with. Now, I think Wills got hurt. I think the
Jedrick?
Yeah.
Yeah, so
is Wyatt Teller still there?
Right.
I believe he is.
Yeah.
I think he got hurt too.
Their right tackle definitely got hurt because DeJuan Jones played there.
And
they
eventually
had to change some
now,
things.
the other thing that I'll say to sort of counter Evan's thing, and I agree with they're going to have a different style and all that, but I think it's hard to scheme around your line. So yeah, I think that what Alex Van Pelt likes to do is probably more conducive to better pass protection, keep protecting them a little bit.
Yeah.
But it's hard to me to scheme around left tackle problems if you have it. And I remember talking to Billy O a little bit early last year about that and him talking about it. Like, yeah, you can do it. You can definitely protect them. It's a tough way to live.
I just think it's harder, especially when you have a quarterback who's not mobile. Like when you have a quarterback that's comfortable throwing on the move and is comfortable playing outside the pocket, not just talking about extending plays, but actually by design, then it changes a whole lot of, first and second down is not going to just be pin your ears back and come after Drake May because they're going to be able to move the pocket where they weren't going to do that with
He
Mac
should
Jones.
offer that, absolutely. He should offer some of those plays, by design.
Yep. Eric in Maryland. Somebody please get Edelman some acting lessons. Hopefully Coach Mayo is better at winning games than he is at acting. Gronk, A+, get him an Oscar. Evan, your dialogue was perfect.
See, you lost your man card, but you're an actor.
There you go. An actor, thespian.
Jules had a lot of lines, to be fair.
Yeah,
that was the hard part.
Yeah, I think he did fine.
I do too.
Yeah.
You're not gonna hold it against him.
Yeah. Let's see. Keith in Connecticut, love the schedule release. Marcus Jones only had a couple lines, but he looks like he can act in addition to returning punts, play corner, gadget guy, and a singer. I did have a quick question on Brady Day next month, and you may have no idea, but I figured I'd ask, do you have any idea if the Patriots Express train will be running from Boston to the stadium like it does on game days? I don't know the answer to that, but it's a good question.
That's a good question.
It's a good question.
Bring it up in a meeting.
We'll effort that.
Yeah.
Very good question. Let's see. Brandon, North Carolina. 10 out of 10 on the schedule release. You guys killed it. It was cool seeing the crew from PU on there. I really enjoyed it. Now, as to the schedule, if Coach Mayo wanted to wait until the bye to let May start, would Week 14 be too far out to do that? Yes. I mean, what's the point? I guess just to get him some reps.
Some feet wet.
Yeah.
moments.
I mean, that's late, but it's still 4 games.
I could see it. I mean, what if they're kind of in the mix and Brissett's playing well and they're just like, we want to go for it, and then, they kind of fall off there. The bye week comes and it's like, okay, we fought well. We're not going to make the playoffs. Now's the time. Let's get them 4 games. I'd feel okay with that. I mean, not great, but
I would like him to play more than 4 games, but I don't think 4 games is insignificant.
No. Right.
Especially those 4 games, 2 against Buffalo.
I would be really disappointed with the season if we didn't get to see our 3rd overall pick not play until Week 14 or after. I understand wanting to wait until he's ready or the team around him is ready, but I feel sometimes it's better to see how well he responds if those things aren't great and see if he can be the factor to pull the team up.
I think there's something to be said for that.
Do you think there's something to be said, too, for, like, getting him reps against Buffalo, a team in the division that he's going to see consistently and, start to get a feel for? I mean, they obviously with the way that it's playing out, I mean, Miami 2 weeks before the bye, but, it seems like that might be a nice little thing to get, too, is let him see some of these defenses that he's going to have to go against in the division, which is, the most important games.
Yeah, I just feel like that last month of the season, too, maybe even if he doesn't get in until those last 4 games, if you can build something in those last 4 games where you head into the offseason feeling pretty good about how he's playing, how the offense looks, and all that kind of stuff, then you ride that momentum into the offseason. You know, you make some more moves in the offseason, and then in 2025, you hit the ground running, you know?
Yeah. I'm starting to get into the camp of, if he looks like he gets it, start him right away.
Yeah.
Just put him out there.
Yeah, sure.
I've never understood what the hesitation is if he looks the part.
Let him experience the rookie wall. That's another thing, you know.
So along those lines, I finally caught some of the Tommy Kern he went on with Taylor Kyles, and man, he's carving out his space with J.J. McCarthy and.
Interesting that you say that. You almost read the email. Junior
What
and
a
Canton,
segue.
adding on to the Tom Curran discourse from last episode. The more I hear him talk on other platforms, the more it's clear his controversial minicamp evaluation of May comes from his pre-draft evaluations. He's clearly been infected by McCarthyism, as Jim Murray likes to put it.
That's good.
And thinks JJ is the better quarterback now and thinks their upsides are similar. It's perfectly reasonable to be scared of May's floor and to be more comfortable drafting McCarthy. But even May's biggest haters would admit that if he lives up to his potential, then you have a quarterback who can compete with anyone. Curran made it clear that he didn't see that upside with May.
Yeah, I want to steal Evan's thing. I'll set you up, though, Evan. I thought it was a great point he made at some point, but it's that J.J. McCarthy's going to have a little bit better supporting cast right out of the gate and kind of know, and he's probably going to play sooner. And so it does sound like it's going to set up where, you know, by like mid-September, Tommy Kern's going to be walking around being like, "See, I told you all," you know, like that's. But it's, you know, it's obviously a long process. So I don't know. I mean,
marathon.
I mean, I give him credit for you know, for being passionate about what he believes.
Stand by it.
Yeah,
and, you know.
sure. The part of me that I can't reconcile is that I don't know how you look at Drake May and say, like, how have you watched Josh Allen and these guys and not think like we said, he's worth missing on? Like, you know, that's what I see.
Yeah, my worry with Tom is what the emailer alluded to. Like, okay, so that's your pre-draft thought. I don't hold that against anyone because everybody was all over the map.
Yep.
But I'm more concerned about what he thought on rookie minicamp. Was it May 11th?
Yeah.
I'm a little bit more like, were you seeing something you wanted to see because of what you thought going in, or are you telling us what you actually saw?
Yeah.
Again, this is not my evaluation. I didn't see any of it. I wasn't there. So I'm trusting you guys who all, and I put
independently.
Yeah, I put Tamara in that group. You guys all thought the same.
Yeah.
You all felt the same.
We didn't even watch practice together,
No,
so it wasn't like we were talking
no
about
group think or anything.
So I didn't really see anyone critical of the way that Drake May threw the ball at the rookie minicamp other than Tom.
Yeah.
And I'm wondering if that was because of his predisposed opinion.
Yeah. I think I am a little bit. I saw Drake May throw at his pro day, so I've seen that already.
I don't know if you know, but Ev was at Drake May's pro day.
And Drake May was like, "Hey, what's up?"
But like but I saw him at his pro day, so I've seen him uncork it. Like, I've seen him put on a show
where he has to,
where he's on this showcase and this platform to be like, show off a little bit. What we saw at rookie minicamp was him dialed down to 1.
Right.
Like, he has
and taking the profit kind of in the drills, like just throwing the hitches.
We just did not see. We didn't see Joe Milton take out the driver. Like, he wasn't throwing it 75 yards in the air, and we didn't see Drake May really ramp it up to 10.
Yeah.
And I've seen Joe Milton do it at the Senior Bowl, and I saw Drake May do it at his pro day. So when I watched him at rookie minicamp, I was like, they've got the training wheels on him right now. Like, this is subdued version of both guys. I would say.
Frame of reference.
Yeah. Zach in Pennsylvania. Earlier we were talking about eating bad food. He says, in college about 10 years ago, I had a friend that worked at Walmart. He and a coworker would eat the deli meat that had to be thrown out that day. They ended up not only being fired, but actually being sued by Walmart and had to pay back around $3,000 each. How much meat did they eat?
That's just ridiculous.
Yeah, they were going to throw it
They
out.
were throwing it away. They got fined.
And there's
don't
more to that
understand.
story.
We need to start holding these stores and brands accountable. Like,
That's not.
I got a feeling that there's more. I think they were not just eating meat that was.
That's a lot of money.
Yeah, they were.
There's got probably more to
They
the
were
story.
stealing food.
But the point remains that like designers do this too. If they're throwing away stuff that doesn't sell, instead of just donating it, they destroy it and put it in a dumpster.
Well, they don't want their clothing out there.
So don't be so wasteful. Get your operation together.
I couldn't believe the amount of food that got thrown out at like the studios I worked at when we were on shows, and they would have like a full catered meal, and like a quarter of it would get eaten, and they would just throw it out, and I would be like, there's like 25 homeless people right along that road right there. Like, why can't there be a way?
Yeah. That's Mike's version of you were at Drake May's Pro Day.
I was trying to help
in
the
the
homeless.
studio.
I was trying to help the homeless.
I was in Hollywood one time.
I know, and I brought it up too much in the show, but like I was like, and they're like, well, no, legally we can't do that because someone. I'm like, you're just throwing out all this
But
food.
it's
There's
not
so
only
many people
food they
suffering.
do it with, so I don't understand. Like I saw a TikTok the other day of it's a dumpster outside of Petco, and it's a bunch of dog beds destroyed, cut up. They couldn't have gone to a shelter. I got
another topic just to throw out there. This is something that bothers me so much. I'm sorry.
It really grinds my gears.
No, but does it bother you guys?
I do so until I'm mad.
Where does all the trash go? Where does all this trash go?
The ocean.
The Atlantic Ocean.
Is it all really? No, but really.
We send it
We
to
just
China
all
and
of
they
it?
burn it, or it goes into the ocean.
That's it. All of it.
No,
Recycling
it goes into landfills.
Most recycling doesn't get recycled.
Right, I know that, but
This
it's
is
just
definitely something that
I just
Alex
see
is
so much
noticing.
trash every day.
Trash I always thought was landfill. I thought
Yeah,
Fred was right
every
about
They
that.
don't dump it in the ocean.
There's so much trash.
I mean, stuff gets in there.
Stuff
I'm not
gets
saying that
burned.
it doesn't. But
Stuff gets shipped off and burned.
Burn makes sense.
Okay,
Not in all
yeah.
cases, but
China.
in many cases.
Drive through Johnston, Rhode Island. They're burning the trash.
You gotta fire
Or
into
New
the
Jersey.
sun or something. I don't know. It's just that always like whenever I'm going like trash day
Cleveland.
and I'm like, there's so much trash, and it's like, where does it all go? Or like when you throw something out, I'm like, what is going to become of this battery I'm throwing out right now? I know you're maybe not supposed to throw out.
Well,
batteries,
that's a good one because
Yeah.
the battery. 60 Minutes did a thing. There's this place in China, like it's a
Yep.
town in China
it's
where
always in
all
China.
these
All the batteries go?
all the and like it is the most toxic place on earth.
And that's why, like, the electric car thing, like, I kind of want a Tesla, but still, like, people talk about how it's so much better than gas. It's like, do you know who the people are mining to make the batteries that are going into those
Is it like
EVs?
blood diamonds?
Yeah, if not
It's
worse.
like that movie.
There you go.
Leonardo
And those
DiCaprio.
batteries never will ever disintegrate. They'll never biodegrade. Like, they're here forever.
Single-use plastic, really. That too. I'm just like, oh, I like it. I
As
just,
he drinks
straws.
out of a water bottle.
Anthony writes in,
Paul's just like, what?
mowing the grass is by far the most enjoyable of the household chores. And Evan, you truly missed out. This begs another question. What is the worst household chore? Personally, I hate washing dishes.
Dishes.
I don't want to touch other people's gunk, drain their backwash from a cup, or scoop out the drain catcher. Give me a million lawns over one dinner cleanup.
yeah, toilet.
No.
Clean the toilet.
Bathroom.
Yeah,
Cleaning
the
the bathroom.
bathroom clean sucks.
Deuce.
Yeah,
You get the
we get
you get the star.
a person comes once a month and just bathrooms and kitchen.
Can't hide money over
That's
there.
it.
I like
do a good
washing
job.
the dishes.
This bathroom's very clean.
I find it. I don't know. I like washing the dishes.
I don't mind washing dishes.
Sometimes.
I do the dishes every night.
Throw a podcast
It's
on.
And if I
it's
do the
nice.
dishes, I put them in the before anybody makes
I
fun
don't
of
have
me.
a dishwasher,
I put them in the
so-
dishwasher.
Okay, well, you're not doing the
Yeah,
dishes.
yeah.
No,
that-
but
you're
you
not
have
a
to.
man, Paul.
But clearing the tape. He said I give me 1,000 lawns over clearing the table. I clear the table every night.
You clear
Yeah,
the
me-
table.
And I do rinse
Do
the,
you
the dishes
pre-rinse?
off.
That's-
Yes.
yeah.
I
Rinse them off.
I actually read, like, if you have a good dishwasher,
not supposed to
they
do
say
that.
don't rinse the
Yeah, but
the
I don't want
dishes.
food in the dishwasher.
It won't be in there.
Where's it go?
It goes down. It
you
gets.
have to do what he just said
Into
and
the
clean out the trap.
I
No,
don't like
no,
that
he's
debate
talking
either.
about
That
the
you're
trap
not doing
in
the
sink.
dishes. What about doing laundry? It's the same thing.
Yeah, I do the laundry
I
all the
like
time
laundry.
too.
I'm
I
saying
don't-
just
he's
do
saying
it
you're
and
not
you
doing
can
dishes.
do
You
other
just throw it in the
stuff.
dishwasher.
I don't like
but
doing
the
laundry.
I don't mind
I do
doing.
it
I don't
all the
mind
time.
doing the laundry. It's folding it.
Oh,
Yeah,
I love
well, that's
folding.
like
Yeah.
see.
emptying a
Ha-
dishwasher.
Not surprisingly to you guys, I have arguments with Beth on you do the laundry,
But you
and
don't.
it's taking the reservation.
Folding is so
Right.
satisfying.
No, the hard
for
part is
me.
folding.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think
Folding's
though. I think
satisfying.
Paul, that's like master level husbandry. I don't know, it's husbandry though, being but like I think doing the dishes is one of the secrets to like good marriage because that's
Dishes
like
and laundry,
It's
I
such
do
a
them
hard, it's such
all
a
the time.
task, and I actually got scolded this morning for not doing enough in the dishes front. So I do think anyone thinking of getting married soon, Evan, just clean the dishes. If you stay on top of the dishes, you'll earn a lot of goodwill.
Jess cooks. I clean.
Good man.
After.
And that's our thing.
Yeah.
Beth
Yeah.
always has dinner ready, and I always
Yeah.
clear the dishes.
Yeah, and I you don't want me to cook. Like, it's not that I'm so
Jersey
bad.
Mike's.
I'm so bad at it that you don't want me to cook.
So you're one of those people that
puts it on a plate,
purposely
pretends it's
do
his.
it bad so no one asks you to do it.
No, that's how I used to cut the hedges in my house.
There's only
With my father.
The only
I would do them crooked.
The only thing that I cook is like, if we have like her mom for Thanksgiving or something, like the turkey, like, that's like those types of big
Baste
things.
it.
Yeah, like I feel like
You'll cook a
What
Thanksgiving
about grilling?
turkey and nothing.
Do you grill?
I wouldn't even think
yeah,
of it.
and
I
I
grill.
and I grill.
That's a lot.
And I grill, but like on a nightly basis, like tonight, like no.
Tonight.
Cool. I'm living that air fryer life too. That thing's great. I just got one of those. That's a life changer.
Yeah?
Love it.
Air
Love
fryer's
it.
cool.
Sebastian
I
from
also clean that.
Sebastian from Clifton, New Jersey. As an out-of-market fan, I'm pretty upset about this schedule.
I'm getting upset.
I normally watch those local games, he has in quotes, on replay, but I love watching it live on the 4 o'clock slots or prime time.
No.
I hate the days I can't watch other games because I'm afraid of seeing the score or replay coincidentally. I love watching football when we're not playing, but now I have to stay offline until it's up on replay. Anywho,
Yeah, that seems like a very much
that's
a
a
you
you
problem.
problem.
Yeah.
I can't see a way of winning more than 4 games this year, and that's me being optimistic.
Mike?
What if some guys are really good that you didn't expect?
Right. Let's keep Drake on the sidelines until we have a proven protection on the line, and if Jacoby goes down, I'm on the side of playing Milton. If he plays good enough, maybe someone will offer something worth our consideration. If he's bad, top 3 pick guaranteed.
We can't play Drake May because the line might be bad, Paul. We can't do it.
I agree with you on that, as I said earlier, but like,
gonna
why?
drive me nuts.
Can someone explain to me the logic behind
could
playing
die.
Joe Milton
He could die.
over
We
Drake
could
May?
just wrap him in bubble wrap.
The logic is that you're feeding Joe Milton to the wolves
Right.
and
Yeah.
not Drake May, because God forbid Drake May
But I
have
mean,
to actually like
okay.
elevate the
It's that
people
poor
around him or
sacrificial
something.
lamb.
But my personal feelings about that draft pick, which we don't need to relitigate.
Yes, we do.
Why would you not treat your players like actual players? Like, you drafted them both. I understand that there's much more expected of Drake May. I'm not naive. But you shouldn't just say, well, we'll just throw him to the Wolves. He's a rookie 6th-round pick, and the other guy's a rookie 1st-round pick. Why? Like, I don't really understand that logic.
I feel like, and I mean this sincerely, I feel like Mac Jones and the whole Mac Jones thing has just broken people's brains to think that if the situation around the quarterback isn't absolutely perfect in every single area of the team, that the quarterback isn't going to be able to succeed. Where this Drake May needs to be a better player than Mac Jones was. Like, that's the hope. That's the goal here. And if you just think that it's only going to work if everything around him, the left tackle is Joe Thomas and the receiver is Jamar Chase, like, it's just not, we're going to be in for, it's going to be 10 years before we can
Joe
play the guy.
Milton is better than Drake May, that should be the only reason he plays over Drake May.
Right.
In my mind. If he's better.
Gary writes in about playing May late in the season. Get him some cold weather game experience. He only knows North Carolina.
Yeah, that's a good question. That was the one that I didn't really hear asked. I would just be curious. I mean, I'm sure I kind of know what he would say, but he just hasn't really played in the cold that much. I mean, maybe you'd know more than me, Paul. College?
No,
nothing?
I don't think he has any
hasn't.
experience. I think he said something about it when he was with us, didn't he?
He's played in a few rain games, but not anything in the cold.
Snow, wind. I mean.
Well, those last 2 games are home games.
Yep.
Those are gonna get cold.
Yep. That's another good reason.
And a game in Buffalo.
Yeah.
So.
Andrew, watching from the UK, so not as tuned in as you guys, but I'm quietly optimistic about the season ahead. My thinking is, regardless of how terrible last season was, we were in many games for long periods, and if it weren't for catastrophic errors from Mac, we could have been closer to a 500 team. I honestly think we'll turn a few teams over that we're not expected to. Week 1 versus the Bengals will be closer than people think.
Oh, there you go.
You could be right.
I agree with that last part. I think that they have a chance to hang in there with the Bengals for sure.
Yeah. I mean, like they did last year with Philly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Same kind of game.
Week 1 always weird anyway.
Gordon, my email by phone has been a little wonky. I don't know what that means.
That's not
Question is, with 18 games being inevitable and player depth being a really serious issue moving forward, do you guys ever see a system in the NFL developing where there's a quarterback plays 3 quarters and then a quarterback that comes in and closes the game out? I know it works because the opposing team builds a rhythm with one picture so they can hit the ball late, and also his arm tends to wear out later in the game. If you had two quarterbacks that have similar styles, could some sort of closer system be viable?
I don't know why you would want it to be.
Right. Yeah. I mean, basically 2004 they had a closer. It was Corey Dillon.
There you go.
You know? So the quarterback remains the same, but you just start pounding the ball, and the quarterback's not throwing anymore.
Yeah. I mean, how many teams have a good quarterback, and they have another one who's just as good?
Yeah, right.
If you have two quarterbacks, you have no quarterback.
That's true.
Johnny's he's clutch. He's more clutch, so he's going to play the fourth.
Yeah,
But
I
you're
don't
better
know why
in, like,
you would
regular,
want your, why would you want Patrick Mahomes to only play the first three quarters?
Yeah.
I mean, obviously the two quarterback stuff mostly happens in college when you have like a running quarterback.
But
and
even then, it's not for that reason.
Yeah.
No, it's stylistic.
Guys will switch, and take different play, and then they might go with whoever had the hot hand in that game.
Yeah.
But they're not playing one guy for three quarters, and then saying, "You did a great job. We got a 4-point lead. You sit down now. The closer's coming."
It doesn't
in.
work. I mean, look at Brady and what he went through in college. It's just these guys. They want to play. That might be the biggest barrier to me. Is just the mental focus of these guys. Like, they're not going to be able to split.
No,
Nobody's going to enjoy
and
that.
If it's a close game, your closer has to
down.
almost be better than your starter,
Right?
Because you now need
Well, that's what I'm saying. How many teams have a good quarterback,
right?
and then another one who's just as good?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you're putting in an inferior player.
Right. He's not quite as good, but he's just way more clutch, and we just like him under pressure. He's better under pressure. I don't know how you'd even quantify it.
Right. Okay. So, not a good question. I'm sorry.
Yeah, just
well,
tough. And the baseball thing doesn't work, obviously, because the starting pitcher gets tired. That's why he comes out of the game.
Yep.
All right. Well, listen, we're going to end the show. Appreciate everyone emailing, calling. Have a good weekend.
Yeah. OTA Monday, so we'll have some stuff to
OTA
talk about
Monday,
Tuesday.
so that's a big day here. I'll be there.
Nice.
Yeah.
Get your
gonna go out.
binocs.
Polly?
Yep, with my
I will
binos.
not be here.
Oh.
Will not be here.
Thanks for ratting me out. It's a vacation day. Thank you.
All right. We will see you on Tuesday.
Thank you for downloading this podcast. Subscribe on Apple, Google Play, and everywhere else you listen. Like the show? Please rate and review us. Listener comments and ratings help keep us high in the podcast rankings so new listeners can find us. Be sure to check Patriots.com for more news and more podcasts.
The world's original podcast.